ঠিক আছে লগে জন্য এটা মু ইউজুয়ালি বলি এটা দেখো তো
सबू पिला हेलो हेलो समस्त पिला निवेदन जे या भितर आम बसी समय परस्पर भितर कथा हबानी
क्लिक करके शॉट ऊपर फोकस आरी ऊपर फोकस माने आरी ऊपर ग्रीन माने ये फोकस रहिला तापर रखी जो बेसी पुरी खुली नै रखी जो ग्रीन है ना
जय जगन्नाथ समस्त को सुप्रभात उड़िया पक्ष पालन अवसर रे किछि समय उड़िया द्वितीय थर पर शिक्षक शिक्षा महाविद्यालय आमे पुनर्बार एक आलोचना चक्र अनुष्ठान करने को आमे जाऊँ। यही आलोचना चक्र रे आम पाखे जो मैंने आम अतिथि हिसाब से अच्छा आम पाखे समस्त समस्त अतिथि आम पाखे बर्तमान उपस्थित। तेणु द्वितीय थर पर आम महाविद्यालय प्रांगण में आम अनुष्ठान करने को जाऊँ आम आयोजन करने को जाऊँ यही पाठचक्र को कन्वेनर हिसाब से मु डॉक्टर विजय कुमार स्वाई आमर समस्त अतिथि मानक मो मंच उपर को आह्वान करने जाऊँगी। आमर मुख्य अतिथि हिसाब से आम पाखे उपस्थित अच्छा प्रोफेसर तपन कुमार बसंतिया सार मो सार को मंचासीन होगापी अनुरोध करुँची। गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर प्रोफेसर विमोद किशोर सर आई एम रिक्वेस्टिंग यू come to the dais. Honorable Speaker Dr. Dukhabandhu Sahu sir, patron of this seminar Srimati Itisri Bahali madam, and convener of this seminar Dr. Banani Mahanti madam. এই অবসরে মু আমার সমস্ত অতিথিগণ को मो निवेदन करुछि जे जगन्नाथ पाद पुष्प पुष्पमाल्य अर्पण करी आज सभा कार्य को आग को आगे नवा यह सहित द्वितीय वर्ष गुरु छात्र रथेन्द्र कुमार पागल को मु अनुरोध करुछि कि से स्टेज ऊपर को आसीबा तथा मंत्र उच्चारण करने।
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवं सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ कदाचित् कालिन्दी तटविपिन संगीतकरवो मुदा नारी वदन कमला स्वाद मधुपा रमार शंभुर ब्रह्मा मरपति गणेशार्चित पदो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। ब्रह्मांडं दारुदंडं दरपिटदरडं दर्पदंडामृदंडं डिम्भिरिडिम्भिरिडिडिम्भिरिडांसिडासहडम्बरुडम्बराढ्या तुल्यं तुल्यं वितुल्यं कमकमकुङ्कुमलेपिताण्डं शुभाण्डम् एतद् पुण्यतीर्थे प्रकटघटरगोपात्मो नरसिंहः एतद् पुण्यतीर्थे प्रकटघटरगोपात्मो नरसिंहः सन्नो मित्रं सवरुणः सन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः सन्नो इन्द्र बृहस्पति सन्नो भवत्वर्मः। नमो ब्राह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मास्मि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि तन्मान् अवतु तदिरक्तम् अवतु अवतु माम् अवतारभक्तम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णम् उदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यो परिपालयन्ता न्यायेण मार्गेण महीमहीषा गोब्राह्मणभ्यं शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोका समस्ता सुखिनं भवन्तु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
Now I am requesting all the students of our institute to welcome all with a suitable song. Requesting all the student teachers, please come to the dais. Thank you. And now, I am requesting the principal cum patron of this seminar, Transforming Teacher Education, Integrating Indian Traditions and Global Trends, Srimati Itisri Bahali Madam, to give the welcome address of this seminar.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. And heartfelt welcome and regards to our distinguished delegates, organizing team members, dynamic faculties, staff members, devoted students, and all who have gathered here today. A sincere welcome to our esteemed guests who have accepted our invitation for this national seminar in spite of their busy schedule. And we feel blessed with their presence with positive energies and vibes. We are privileged to have our chief guest, Professor Tapan Kumar Basantia sir, Dean, School of Education, Central University of Jharkhand. Guest of honor, Professor Bimal Kishore sir, Head, Department of Education, Central University of Jharkhand. Honorable Speaker, Dr. Dukhabandhu Sahu sir, Associate Professor, School of Humanities, Social Science and Management, IIT Bhubaneswar. My special thanks to convener, Dr. Banani Mahanti Madam, co-convener, Dr. Vijay Kumar Swami sir, Assistant Professors of this college. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all to this wonderful gathering here at College of Teacher Education, Balasore, a district which is known for its rich cultural heritage in Odisha. Today, we come together not only to celebrate a significant event, but also to acknowledge the energy, enthusiasm, and excellence that define our college community. College life is not just about academics, it's about discovering who you are, building lasting friendships, and finding your passion. Events like this creates an opportunity to showcase our talents, step out of your comfort zone, and create memories we'll carry to life. As educators, we dedicate ourselves to not just teaching, but continuously learning and growing alongside our students. Today's seminar is a testament to that commitment. It is said that teaching is a profession that makes all other professions possible. A teacher is one who creates an alluring ambience with his students and able to bear the hardships and aware them of upcoming challenges and circumstances. This year, our seminar is themed at Transforming Teacher Education, Integrating Indian Traditions and Accommodating the Global Trends. Indian educational philosophy is increasingly recognized as a global standard for holistic education due to its emphasis on character building, experiential learning, and the integration of values with academic excellence. Modern frameworks such as Indian National Education Policy NEP 2020 is rooted in the ancient ethos to create future-ready learners who are balanced, ethical, and socially responsible. In this regard, our eminent Indian philosophers emphasize learning by doing and integrating academic knowledge with practical skills that nurture the physical, vital, intellectual, and spiritual dimensions of human existence. It combines ancient philosophies like Vedanta, emphasizing spiritual liberation with modern progressive ideas, focusing on cultural critical thinking, equity, and science. Our core concept of Indian philosophy, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, fosters a sense of human solidarity, making it highly relevant to the Sustainable Development Goal. By emphasizing holistic growth, this framework addresses modern demands for sustainability and emotional resilience, bridging ancient wisdom with the contemporary education system as a lifelong process, not merely for career development. As learners constantly seek ways to extend and expand knowledge and improve understanding of the world, this seminar is a perfect opportunity for us to do that, as we can hear from experts in various fields and learn about new and exciting research. To all of us here today, it's my humble request to take the most out of this opportunity. Again, I'd like to extend a warm appreciation to our esteemed guests, faculty members, organizers, students, and all attendees. Your presence here today adds great value to this occasion. Let us all enjoy the events, including speeches, presentations, and all other activities planned for today. Today we have come together not just to listen, but to think, to question, and to learn from one another. This educational seminar is a chance to grow. We have got a wonderful group of speakers and participants ready to explore new ideas and have great conversations. Let's all work together to create a welcoming and inclusive environment where all voices are heard and respected. To our chief guests and dignitaries, thank you for gracing us with your presence. To our respected faculty members, your guidance continues to shape the future of every student. And to our dear students, you are the heartbeat of this institution, and today is all about you. I sincerely hope that this event will inspire meaningful consequences and collaborations and the spirit of coming together with lasting memories. Thank you all for joining us at this significant academic gathering. Your enthusiasm to participate in this event is profoundly meaningful. Thank you and thanks a lot. Welcome you again.
Thank you, madam. Once again, namaskar and good morning to all of you. I feel privileged to introduce our guest of this day. Chief guest, Professor Tapan Kumar Basantia, Sir, Professor and Dean, School of Education, Central University of Jharkhand, Ranchi, is currently running a major research project sponsored by Indian Knowledge System Division, AICT Ministry of Education, Government of India. He has coordinated the government-funded scheme Pandit Madan Mohan Maldviya National Mission on teacher and teaching and lead MHRD sponsored online courses on Swayam. Professor Basantia sir holds multiple academic qualifications including MA degrees in education, distance education and history, MPhil and PhD in education, a B.Ed, PGDD and has qualified the UGC, NET and JARED. Prior to the present position, he held the position as a professor and associate professor in the Department of Teacher Education at Central University of South Bihar, Gaya. Assistant professor in the Department of Education at Assam University, Silchar, and lecturer in the Department of Education at Mizoram University, Aizawl. Professor Basantia has supervised 17 doctoral and 10 MPhil scholars. He is the author or editor of 3 books. His academic work has been published by prominent publishers such as Oxford University Press, Sage, IGI Global and others. He also serves as a reviewer for different journals affiliated with the leading publishing houses, including Springer Nature, Taylor Francis, Elsevier, and IGI Global. On this day, we are getting such an eminent persons as a chief guest, and we are very much thankful to you, sir. Our guest of honor, Professor Vimal Kishore sir, presently acts as a professor and head, Department of Education, Central University of Jharkhand, Ranchi. His educational qualification is MA, MPhil and PhD in Education, MA, and also completed UGC NET. He had the experience of a Dean, School of Education, School of Mass Communication and Media Technologies, and Finance Officer. He has published 2 books and several articles and research papers in reputed national and international journals. He is supervising PhD and MPhil scholars and completed several government-funded research projects. And on this day, we have the opportunity to get Vimal sir as the guest of honor, and I also welcome him sir to this seminar as guest of honor. Our honorable speaker, Dr. Dukhabandhu Sahu sir, is a senior faculty member of economics at the School of Humanities, Social Sciences and Management, IIT Bhubaneswar.
Their support and cooperation in making this seminar a reality. Thank you, Jagat.
Thank you, madam. On this 2-day seminar, we are just planning for this seminar few days ago, just like as 12th March or after 12th March, we are planning about this seminar, and very shortly, within this very short span of time, more than 78 different thematic research articles and review articles are received. Research scholars from 10 different states we received from them various articles, and on this day I requesting all of our guests to inaugurate the souvenir of this seminar, Transforming Teacher Education, Integrating Indian Traditions and Global Trends. Now I am requesting all the dignitaries to release the souvenir of this seminar. Now it is the time to listen the chief guest of this seminar. I invite chief guest of this seminar, Professor Tapan Kumar Vasantia sir, to give the keynote address of the seminar.
Suprabhat. Good morning. Most respected patron of this seminar, Dr. Itisri Bahali, and principal of this college, esteemed guest of honor of this seminar, Professor Vimal Kishore, Head Department of Education, Central University of Jharkhand, and former Finance Officer in charge, Central University of Jharkhand, and Internal Audit Officer, Central University of Jharkhand. Esteemed keynote speaker of this seminar, Professor D. Sahu, Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, Indian Institute of Technology, Bhubaneswar. Convener of this seminar, Dr. Banani Mohanty, who is whole of this program or seminar. Co-convener of this seminar, Dr. Vijay Kumar Swai. All the esteemed participants coming from the different parts of the country and different parts of the states, the organizing committee, teachers of this college, the city Balasore, and all the guests, invitees coming from the different parts. Please sound थोड़ा कम कराइए, बहुत बाहर में बहुत sound. So, I am very much happy in the sense that last around 30 years, I am associated with this college in one way or other. I find that hardly people are here, they were associated with this college except a few non-teaching staff members. Because when I was studying in the FM college, long days back from 1993 to 98, being an education student, I was sometimes coming to this college. Later on, many of my seniors were part of and parcel of this college, maybe Dr. Rajiv Nandi, Professor Sanjay Jain, Professor Manoj Pradhan, Professor Punachanda Behera, and many more. To take the name, that Ponda sir, who was before last principal, he was there here. Then many other teachers were here who were very much associated with me. And today I am happy enough that two great educationists are with me, having wide experience in different parts of the country, different parts of the world. They have worked in different parts of the world. Professor Dukhbandhu Sahu, he has been working since last 1.5 decades in IIT Bhubaneswar and currently working in teacher education program. And before that he was in IIT Roorkee, and prior to that he was my colleague. Few words I want to tell. My colleague in Assam University, and we completed projects and many paper publications together, and I am very much happy. And Vimalji is very close to me, and because we have long vista, जो बताते ना, long relationship, because last 2 decades, more than 2 decades relations. And with Vimalji, we have around last 1 decade or more than 1 decade relationship, because when I was in Central University of South Bihar and he was in Central University of Jharkhand. Prior to that, he had also experience in Sikkim Central University, having very good expertise in teacher education. They are with you, and you are very lucky that they are here. And so the principal of this college, Itisri Madam, she invited us, and we are here, and I am very much happy enough, and I congratulate the entire team for the purpose. Now I will say few words about this seminar. This is teacher reform. Now the whole country is trying for teacher reform. Whole world is trying for teacher reform. If you will see the Justice Verma Commission report into that 2012, it has been mentioned that more than 10,000 teacher education institutions are selling degrees, having no quality. It is fact, and this is not applicable to only the private institutes, and it is also applicable to government institutes where there is no infrastructure, no teachers even. If you think about the government of Odisha before 5 or 7 years, what was the condition of teacher education? I remember only one teacher or two teachers were here in this institute where that B.Ed program was running, having a status of city. Status of city College of Teacher Education, that remains the second rank after IAC, Institute of Advanced Studies in Education. The second rank is status of city. But when NCT took a very broad step, a very strong step, the government of Odisha also became bound to recruit the teacher. I think that if NCT would not be strict or it should not be stringent enough, we may not find the teachers here now also. Reality is there. And when I was in Assam University, one morning I was reading Times of India, and it was written about that in Times of India in front page about one university, Central University, where the degrees are sold like the trophies. Just like the trophies, the degrees are sold in a Central University. I become astonished. This happens, the Central University having a very big name, but in the Times of India it is written degrees are sold in that university. I will not take the name of that university. And being a teacher of a Central University at that time, long days back in 2007 when I was in Assam University with Professor Dukwan Sao, I find it was giving me very much pain that the degrees are sold like the trophies. The concept of quality has been questionable in every field of education, not in the field of teacher education alone. And now I can say few words. That is why what we actually need is teacher reform. We need the reformation of the teacher. And your seminar is based on what? 2.3 important agenda. First agenda is teacher reform. Second agenda is teacher reform in the light of Indian knowledge tradition. And the third one is teacher reform in the light of global training education. What is the teacher reform? Anybody of you read about NEP 2020? Though this document is a recent document, not 5-6 years document, and in every educator's table nowadays you will find that document. How many of you say about the what NEP 2020 suggested for teacher reform? And what are the pillars of those teacher reform? Can anybody tell what are the pillars of that teacher reform? Because we are many times, because हम बताते हैं ना पुस्तक में जो विद्या होता है और वो विद्या काम को नहीं है जो आपका पास में नहीं है, खाली NEP 2020 आपका टेबल में है. It is in a table, but it is not in your mind. There are 4 pillars of teacher reform. What are those 4 pillars? Anybody can tell? I can tell you. First reform is teacher recruitment. Second reform is teacher deployment. Third reform is teacher service condition. Fourth reform is teachers progression and development. And because very commonly you might have seen the document, I add many new things with that one. So when we say the 4 teacher reforms, so first reform is the teacher recruitment. whether we are able to attract the best quality of students to the teacher education system? Definitely no. Only the persons who are not sold in the other field, they come to the teacher education system. And we may not create the good teacher. The reason behind, I will tell the point by point. First one is, the reason behind this is because here we invite the people who don't come by choice, rather they come by force. Whenever they don't get anything outside, they come to the teacher education. After that, many times they forget that what they have to teach in practice, and they become busy in other activities. That is why in NEP 2020, special emphasis was given on the teacher people with reference to recruitment. While there was deliberation or discussion or presentation about the teacher people relating to teacher that recruitment, it stated that first point, scholarship should be provided to the scholars who will be joining the teacher education program. I remember when I was a student of RI, when I was 2 years we were a student, prior to that, a student of RI was getting so much fellowship or scholarship that the student was sending some money to their family, because extra money was sent to the family. At that time, many foreign aid was also got by that NCRT or RI. But later on, it was closed down. Whatever. So this is one point. Scholarship, in order to hunt the talented students, bring the talented students to the teacher education profession. The first and foremost important thing is to provide them the financial support and benefit. That is why you can think about that NRTS system of examination or any kind of that fellowship program that is meant for that. That every teacher education institution should go for scholarship. It was emphasized in NEP 2020. Second one is recruiting the teacher from the local area, especially in the school level. Recruiting the teacher from the local area, it is also emphasized. Mostly women teacher at the lower class level. This because they behave as the mother. That is why recruiting the women teacher and recruiting the teacher, especially from the local area. This is the second point that has been emphasized. Third one is, previously the teacher recruitment, what was happening on the basis of mark that the teachers were recruited. Many times, many students were coming to the teaching job without having the actual competency. That is why in the teacher reform system, it was emphasized that there must be presentation along with the interview in the teacher recruitment process. This was also emphasized. Along with the presentation, there would be also, along with the interview, there would be presentation. And dates, everybody you know that teacher eligibility test, that must be compulsory. That must be compulsory everywhere. That means even if for private school, that should be compulsory. Even if in private school, it must be compulsory TET examination. And any teacher training, that especially teacher entrance test, that must be done through NTA, not through the substandard that entrance system what is being conducted. So like that many other, that means teachers should not be only from the core field like that mathematics, science, social science. But it must be from the allied areas like physical education, art education, health education, and many other areas. Many times what we find, we don't find the competent teacher in these allied areas. That is why we have to recruit the local people having the adequate knowledge and skill in those sub-areas. They must be recruited or they may be invited from the time to time to provide what? To provide teacher training in this specific area. So far as the recruitment is concerned, it has been taken by NEP. This is the first pillar. Second pillar is that is the deployment or transfer. You will find that transferring teacher is not good. What is the transferring the teacher is not good? because it affects the teacher's mental condition and other condition. In NEP area it has been emphasized that there will be no teacher transfer. If transferring will be done, it should be done in a special cases. There must be a strong justification for transferring. That is the second point. And transferring should be properly documented. It's not that online system of documentation should be there in transferring. And there should be the projection of teacher recruitment and transferring. So in next 10 years, what type of teachers will be recruited and transferring? And under the teacher reform, that is also coming. Third one is what? Third one is that service condition. What is the service condition? That condition of the teacher education institution should be very nice, congenial atmosphere. There should be freedom for using their own pedagogy, learner-centered pedagogy, learner-centered curriculum, etc. They have to go for that one. That means atmosphere. That is why two concepts have been given by NEP 2020. One is educational complex or school complex, we can say. That means there should be a complex of institution within a broader umbrella. What is the need of that complex? Because within a complex, suppose there are 10 schools. Every school may not have the all facilities. That is why whatever facility that one school has, that won't be used by the other school. Whatever facility that one education institution has or BEd institution has, that may be used by the other institution. That is why complex can be created. So, and the fourth one is teacher progression and development. When we say teacher progression and development, three important points are emphasized in NEP. One is what? One is continuous professional CPD. Continuous professional development, you must be knowing. Under CPD, it is written that one teacher should go for 50 hours training in a year. Even if the educational leaders, those who are school headmasters or principal, they will also go for what? They will also go for proper training, either from online mode or from offline mode, so that continuously they can go for updating themselves for the purpose of their own career progress and career development and progression. Second one is career progress and development, that career management and progression. This is the most important one. Here, after joining the teacher, we should have scope for their progress and development. What type of scope there should be there? A teacher should go for completing probation, tenure, and tenure track. After the probation, the teacher can go for further working. And when the teacher will go for further working, the teacher need what? Salary protection, salary increment, and incentives. Always good teachers should be identified and incentivized. That means good teachers should be given proper incentives. It has been mentioned that within the different stages of school education, for example, it may be foundational, it may be preparatory, it may be middle, it may be secondary. In each level, you will find there are many sub-levels. That means where there might be different kind of salary structure within the same level. For example, I can say within the foundational, you can find not single salary structure for all. There may be different salary structure within the foundational stage, considering the competency of the teacher. When the two teachers are working in the same institution, one has high competency, that teacher must get high salary. If somebody has more qualification, more competency, that is why there should be fast track promotion. There should be tenure track promotion, fast track promotion. Always the good teachers, they need fast track promotion. In tenure track promotion, suppose after 5 years, you will go for next level. After next 5 years, everything, then you can be a proficient teacher. Then slowly, attachment is the leader. That is first step, second step, third step, fourth step. So far as horizontal aspect is concerned, in each step, that may be Indian knowledge system, value system, commitment, dedication, core value, one horizontal aspect. Second one is subject knowledge. In our teachers, the biggest shortcoming nowadays, those who are coming to the teaching profession, they forget the subject. And this has become a very painful scenario. And they study pedagogy separately, they study content separately. And this is the most misfortune I can say in the history of the teacher education or education system. Because they don't know that pedagogy is inseparable from content and content is inseparable from pedagogy. But we always treat pedagogy is separate and content is separate. Such a painful that experience we have, and this happens with everybody. After coming the teaching profession, everybody, including me, X, Y, that is why my teacher education has the very painful scenario because we forget the subject or content. And we treat pedagogy because pedagogy has no existence so far. I am a pedagogue, I function. So pedagogy is very much related with the content. Without content, there is no relation with pedagogy. So the third aspect is core values. Second one is subject knowledge. Third one is pedagogy. Fourth one is integration of technology with pedagogy, with subject knowledge as well as the core values. And these four you will find in each level. In beginning level, beginner level, you will find these four. In the second one is proficient level, you will find these four. In expert level, you will find these four. And at the leadership level, you should find these four. But truly, there is no integration in fact. But it should be. That is why teacher reform is quite needed. In our education system, we also find this special students. We are thinking, we are telling for inclusive classroom. Whenever we are telling about the inclusive classroom, our teachers should also be inclusive. That is why a teacher should be a special teacher. Not every teacher, but some teachers of an educational institution should have knowledge on special education. They should give. Every teacher should have in one way or other, but some teachers should have specific knowledge or special knowledge, or I can say additional knowledge and skill on special education, or we can say inclusive education. That is why after their BEd program, they can go for certificate program, they can go for special workshop, they can go for RCI and NCT sponsored joint degree program and training work, so that special teachers can be created. Or this is also another informative teacher education. When we say about the teacher education reform, there are two important aspects of reform. One is structural reform, another one is functional reform. You know that NEP 2020 has stated about structural change in education. Structural change in school education, structural change in higher education. When we say structural, previously preschool concept was there. Nowadays there is no preschool concept because it has been taken for the history of Indian education, bringing PCC to the folder of school education, foundational stage of school education. We should be how many years? Foundational stage. 5 years of foundational. After that, is preparatory stage of 3 years. Then middle schooling of 3 years. Then secondary schooling of 4 years. Our teacher education reform should be done according to the structural change. And whenever we say about higher education teacher reform, also there is need of structural change. How? Because we are using the multiple entry and exit system. When we are going for multiple entry and exit system, we are thinking about what? We are thinking about what? That interdisciplinary education, disciplinary education. We are going for a restructuring of higher education. After 1 year, somebody may go for exit exit, that is known as certificate course. After 1 year, if somebody is taking exit, he or she will get certificate. After 2 years, diploma. After 3 years, degree. And we are now having the 4-year graduation degree. And after 4 years graduation degree, somebody will go for how many years PG program? 1 year PG program. And after 3 years, somebody will go for 2 years, and many other changes are there. And all this structural change of higher education and school education, what we actually need? We actually need a preparation of our teacher in the same dimension. That is why government went for closing down many degrees having the old nomenclature like CT degree or DLED degree or DIET, and that means many degrees, especially DLED was there. Now there has to be one program, what? That is what? That is teacher education program, bachelor degree. Bachelor further, there will be, I told about school education and higher education. But teacher education is coming under part of school education or higher education. I am asking this question to this house, whether it is a part of school education or higher education. It is a part of both school education and higher education. Because today, if we see teacher preparation is not only meant for higher education, though the stage is considered a higher education, but basically related with school education. Never tell that teacher education is a part of only a higher education. Teacher education remains in such a juncture that it remains the part of school education as well as higher education. That is why there is also need of teacher reform. In teacher reform, there are different type of teacher education which has been visualized in NEP. 1 year teacher education BEd program, yes or no? Whether in India 1 year BEd program is there or not? It has been closed down since well, teacher education students, you should immediately tell from which year it has been closed down in 1 year. 2015 onward. In ancient system, it has been closed down from 1999. Actually, I was the second batch student of 2 year BEd program of NCERT. When it was started in experimental basis. I joined in 2000. See, now NEP visualized for 3 kinds of teacher education. 1 year teacher education further will be opened, especially for them who are coming after PG degree. 2 year program will be there, and all year. But NCT may not go for closing down the 2 year BEd immediately, but NCT may not give new recognition in a larger scale. Try to understand what I am telling. NCT may not go for closing down the what? 2 year BEd program immediately, but NCT may not give the recognition of 2 year program in a massive scale. NCT will go for opening 1 year BEd program. Besides that, it has been mentioned in NEP 2020 that means by 2030 there should be integrated teacher education program. There will be huge of integrated teacher education program throughout the country. Why integrated program? If you look to the history of integrated teacher education program, you will find. No talking, please. So, whenever you will find integrated teacher education program, it has a very long history worldwide, as well as in India. Now, many developing countries of the world, they are going for integrated teacher education program, starting from Singapore, starting from Finland, and many leading countries of the world, including OECD countries and others. They have a very good integrated teacher education program, and keeping in consideration, NCT visualized for what? Integrated 4-year integrated teacher education program. Whether you have asked one question that why 4-year integrated program, not 5-year integrated program? Have you ever asked this question? Because BEd is normally 2 years 3 years is what? 3 years is our graduation. Because there is somewhere in UGC regulation that if it is integrated, 25% time may be relaxed, but content load and other things should be there. There is another question that needs a huge discussion in this regard. But for your integrated program, must be there. That is why when we say about the teacher education reform, there are some important reform in it. As I told that structural reform in teacher education, preparing teacher for what? Preparation stage, foundational stage, secondary stage, middle stage, then higher education teacher, and functional reform in teacher education. When we say functional reform, it may come with target-oriented teacher education. When we say about the target, it will come outcome-based education in what we know. Now our education has been very much target-oriented. Skill-oriented education, outcome-oriented education, that means where there will be general objective, specific outcome, then there will be what? So many, because nowadays we are going for outcome-based education, and whatever education we have to provide, it must be target-oriented, it must be goal-oriented, it must be specific objective, it must have general objective and many others. Second one is curriculum reform. Third one is target. Reform in target. Reform in curriculum. There will come the credit-based education. How far our education is based on CBCS, or you can say NEP model, or you can say what? Quantitative aspect of education. That means how far we are able to quantify our education system, making our education credit-based education. That is the second one. Third one is the change in or reform in pedagogy or teaching learning process. NEP suggested, and it is also general suggestion, that our teaching learning should be quite learner-centered, experiential, experimental, progressive, constructivist, and critical so far as pedagogy. Many other learner-centered pedagogic approaches are there. It may be critical thinking pedagogy, it may be based on what? It is heuristic method, it may be based on project method, it may be many others, but include. And the fourth one is evaluation, change in evaluation. NEP suggested for 360-degree assessment, holistic assessment, but many of our educational institutions there is no what? Holistic assessment. What is the concept of holistic assessment? Assessment of cognitive domain, assessment of affective domain, assessment of phonetic domain. So 360-degree assessment, touching and continuous assessment, and comprehensive assessment. NEP also emphasized on that one. So there is a paradigm shift in our, there must be a paradigm shift in our teacher education system. What are those? So far as when we say about the teacher education reform, non-integrated model to the integrated model, most important. Non-integrated model to the integrated model. Why we are focusing? Because education in fact is a unitary concept. Learning is a unitary concept. Knowledge is a unitary concept. Though we divide knowledge into fragmented parts, that is not a true fragmentation. That is why you see in the entire document of NEP, and it is also true fact that multidisciplinary education, interdisciplinary education is emphasized like anything. That is why, and always it has been experimented that integrated model of education is better than the fragmented or standalone model of education. That is why there is a need of shift from what? Shift from non-integrated model of education to the integrated model. The focus remains in the ministry focus also, it remains integrated model. I remember 2013 around one that notice came from the government of India to start or go for integrated model of education. NCERT practices integrated model from 1953. NCERT practices integrated model, and starting around 1970s, Kurukshetra University, Punjab University, and even in some institutes of Gujarat, they started integrated program. Now, after 50 years or 60 years, Government of India is thinking for integrated model, especially looking to the best universities of the world. And it will look to the best universities of the world like Harvard University, Stanford University, Michigan University, Oxford University, Cambridge University, and many more universities. You will find their model is model is more integrated in fashion because they go for multiple entry, multiple exit. Some that programs they conduct in one campus, some programs they conduct in another campus, joint degree program, dual degree program, integrated program, and looking those perspective, India is also Singapore model, Finland model, and other European education model. Looking that one, we are thinking for integrated model of education in schools. This is a shift in focus and this is a reformation. That is, and another one is from 10 teacher education to multidisciplinary. आज तक आपको मैं बताऊं आज कैसे मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी को लोग मिसयूज करना शुरू करते हैं. दुनिया में जो कोई चीज निकलता है अच्छा चीज इसका अल्टरनेटिव डुप्लीकेट निकल जाता है. फॉर एग्जांपल क्या होगा गवर्नमेंट थॉट फॉर मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी इंस्टीट्यूशंस वेयर मेनी सब्जेक्ट्स विल बी देयर विल बी अ पूल ऑफ टीचर्स फ्रॉम द डिफरेंट discipline and they will learn. Now go to other institute and go for a affidavit. The work is over, now you become interdisciplinary. You go for your institute, you go for affiliating with KKS Women University or FM University or Balasore College or Organised College or your that Boisinga College. After that you become interdisciplinary. You see how I do not use the terminology misuse. I may not use the terminology underuse. I not use the so many other terminology, but it is a how the things are misunderstood, misused, and many more things. So I am telling. So this is another that transformation. It should be that standalone institution to multidisciplinary. Third one is what? Third one is that previously we go for that practice teaching. Now, practice teaching concept has become very outdated. What actually we want? Field internship, field engagement, which is very much comprehensive, which is very much important because here the trainee teacher will not go for only taking few classes. Rather, what they will do? The trainee teacher will go for practicing in true sense what would be the role of a teacher remaining to it. That is why 14 regulation of NCT you will find how many months of internship? 14 regulation. 4 months of internship. That is your the role of teacher is not to just take a few class and come. You must be knowing before 10 years, 20 years. When especially you forget about NCT system in many BEd colleges, the training teachers they may not see the school for 5-10 days even. And so far as private institutions are concerned, this situation is very painful. So this is another scenario. That is why how to recruit the good teachers. There are many other dilemmas in the field of teacher education which needs reform. Whether we go for permanent teacher appointment or temporary teacher appointment, or which what will be there? Temporary teacher or permanent teacher? Permanent teacher. Teacher should be given proper salary. Teacher should be given proper promotion. Teacher should be given proper incentive. And that is why there is need of teacher education, refer to teacher, refer to teachers need infrastructure. Teacher need many other things. There is a quality issue, commitment issue, professionalism issue, and many more issues are there in teacher education which must be what? Which must be attained by all. Which must be solved by all, which must be achieved by. That is why, and there is a many times there is a gap between policy and practice. Policy में एक चीज होता है, and before few hours I was talking with Professor Manju Sahu about the IIT model, IIT Bhubaneswar model, IIT Kharagpur model, IIT our university model. Many questions are there. Somebody was asking to Professor, sir, how this is happening? Truly, many times whatever teacher we are preparing, as per the regulation, they are not given a job in the practical field. They have not given job in the practical field. May I bring your attention to this common forum before few days regarding the leave of the women for month 1 day. What was this Supreme Court's reaction? Whether this leave should be granted or not? Huh? Can anybody tell that every month there should be one day linked to the women? Whether it was granted or not? It was not granted. What was the rationale behind whatever rationale was given by Supreme Court? Can anybody tell? That women may not be given a job in private sector. Now, whatever may be, I am not giving a question. My point is that all these things, dilemma needs to be taken care, and institutions should be very much appealing for them. This was the, we will not give any comment on the, but it was a point of discussion. This was what? Whenever we are also writing in many material, I have written many material, many instances we have cited, and we cite regarding some controversies in many other things. What is it? So we should be very careful whether permanent teachers will be there, whether temporary teachers will be there. If permanent teacher, why throughout the country that para teacher concept is always prevailing nowadays? Why not permanent teacher? Question, policy and practice. At students we are producing, why they are not given due recognition in job market, they are not allowed for that. So this is another big question. My colleague is there, Professor Vimal Kishore, he knows that we had to close down integrated program for 10 years in Central University of Jharkhand and Central University of South Bihar. We went for fighting for long time. He also went for fighting in Jharkhand Central in a long time. Anyway, nowadays we got a little bit relaxed. After that integrated program has been included in KB and NBS in that recruitment. Many more questions are there. Policy issue, practice issue, theory issue, practice issue of quality, issue of infrastructure, issue of recruitment, retaining the good quality of teachers in the job is another issue. How to keep the good quality teachers in the teacher education institution? Can we keep or not? If you want to keep, you have to give the proper salary, you have to give the proper facility, you have to give the proper promotion and many more. But this is not happening. And our teachers nowadays they are not busy teaching also many cases because of lack of motivation in teaching and many other things are coming. Coming to the scenario of second and third part, what I want to say that our teachers should be well versed with Indian knowledge tradition as well as global knowledge tradition. What are these two things? These in a pendulum, these are two wings. One wing is Indian knowledge tradition, another wing is global tradition on education. If we look NEP document, these two are given importance. I can show you when I show you the PPT. What is the concept of education in true sense as per NEP 2021? 5-6 lines are there where it has been made or written that we want to make Bharat a sustainable and development Bharat, where everybody or every student must be well acquainted with Indian culture tradition along with the best quality of education of the world, so that India can be a globally superpower. This is the concept of education. And so far as teacher education is concerned, it has been emphasized the same thing. A teacher should have knowledge, skill and value system of the country along with the highest level of technological proficiency including AI and other proficiency. If we look to the 1980s, you must be knowing that computer technology came throughout the world because computer generations started from 1980s. Around 2000, you must be finding that internet technology came. मुझे बड़ा कितना टाइम है मुझे हाँ जितना टाइम होगा तो मैं बोलूँगा बट आप लोग मुझे बोलना पड़ेगा 20 minutes okay then I am telling during 2000 what came internet technology came around 2022 AI technology has come to every part of the world. There is a revolution of knowledge. In every minute, there is an explosion of knowledge in every part of the world. And our teachers should be acquainted with that one. Our teacher should accommodate with that one. Our teacher should guide that one. Three things: acquainted with the latest knowledge, guide the latest knowledge, lead the latest knowledge. That is why whatever new developments are coming at the worldwide, we have to prepare our teacher accordingly. Actually, the teacher should not be the follower of the new knowledge. Rather, the teacher should be the guide of the new knowledge. When we are marching for space technology, you must be knowing recently, after how many years, we went to explore further moon. After 53 years, NASA went for further exploring the moon with the human agent. You can see, when we are going for exploring the space, and in this journey of exploring, the teacher should remain at the top. The teacher should not be the follower of that one. The teacher should go for explore, that means leader for that one. We have to prepare teachers accordingly. And whenever we are going for ultra-modern technology, space technology, AI technology, high-level technology, at the same time, we should have human concern. We should have human value. We should have human attachment. For which what? And India is a land where such things are practiced in the past, also is being practiced, and we believe that in future also such practice should be there. That is why humanity remains at this end. As one of the greatest poets told that London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. The world relationship is decaying day by day. The means is that we are going technologically very high, but human relationship is decaying, for which the war technology has come, for which killing technology has come, for which self-centeredness has come. And in order to reduce that one, this land which has been called Bharat is the instrumental for the same. In one document I was reading that though throughout the world that this value system is decaying, still we have some sort of remark about that one. This indicates that whenever we take our education, we have to take our past culture, past value, past tradition, our humanity, because India always preaches, as somebody was telling, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Atiti Seva Parama Dharma, Atiti Seva Parama Dharma, we live together. You know that at the worldwide, Taylor Commission came. In which year Taylor Commission came into confront? Taylor Commission, Jack Taylor, 1963, 1994, 1996. There are 4 pillars of Taylor Commission. Who can say? Learning to be, learning to do, learning to know, learning to live together. This is an international framework, global framework of education that every student should know. And just after how many years? 4 years. MDG came into forefront. Millennium Development Goal came into forefront in 2000. What was its target year? 2015. Further in 2015, MDG came into forefront. What is its target year? 2030. Whether such need to be incorporated in our education or not? It must be incorporated in our education. So far as SDG goal achievement is concerned, the states like Jharkhand, Bihar remains in a very low position. The reason behind that we are not training our, you know, goal 4 is associated with what? SDG goal 4. Education. And whether how much practice is there? We should out of 17 goals, 16 goals we must to achieve. The last one is nothing. It is equal to all. So whether we are in practice, that must be part of our education. MDG goals should be our education because these are the global agenda. You must be knowing that IFA summit, when it was IFA summit, education for all summit. आप लोग education का है, ये सब IFA summit बोले, कि MDG बोले, कि LDG बोले, कि डेवलप कमीशन बोले, and latest technological that some of the that I can say agenda of European Commission, Malanga Commission, and many other commissions have given many international frameworks that all of us have to know. You must be there knowing that India had a very rich legacy. India had a very rich legacy. In this land, there were four great universities of the world. It may be Nalanda. Where was it? Taxila. Where is it? Where was it? Vikramshila. Bhagalpur. Jagatala. Foreign Bangladesh. India was such a land that because a hub of education in the past, India was a hub of education. And if you look to that marine technology, you can say that India has started trade with the East Asian countries, West Asian countries. India was a global power, not only at that time, especially after that 19th century, 20th century, the condition of India became very bad. But if you look to the past, India had a very big legacy so far as education, so far as trade, so far as commerce, and many more things. But whether we want to keep that legacy or be away from that legacy, I can give you some example. Recently, I was in a seminar or somewhere. I was citing the example about that TIMIS and there are two international tests, na? That is the science and mathematics test and science test. So उसमें इंडिया का पोजीशन बहुत बुरा, एक बार पार्टिसिपेट किया था, one time इंडिया पार्टिसिपेट किया था PISA and TIMIS. These two international tests, only one time India participated, and the countries which participated around 50 countries in one test and 70 around countries in another test. The condition of India at the bottom. India का condition TIMIS और PISA में पूरा bottom में, and we are now thinking about global superpower. We are thinking about global leader of education. That is why our international framework should also be tough, because we are lagging behind in every aspect. We are lagging because in international mathematics test, so far as and science test, so far as TIMIS and PISA, and India didn't participate afterward. India should participate for that. This indicates that the condition. That is why all the global challenges, all the global framework, all the global, because in the past India was, as I told you, it was a hub of education. Its tradition was very high. All the 6 big schools of philosophy was emerged in India. It may be Sankhya, it may be Yoga, it may be Nyaya, it may be Purva Mimamsa, it may be that Uttara Mimamsa, it may be, because the 6 great munis they created. So Indian religious system you can see, world में आप जो major religious देखेंगे ना, वो एशिया का contribution है कि इंडिया का contribution है. That part India, which was from Cambodia to Afghanistan, around 11 countries were there. From Central Asia to Sri Lanka, or you can say that Indian Ocean. The length of Asia was from India was from that Indian Ocean to Central Asia. From in East Cambodia to Afghanistan, including 10-12 countries, it had a rich legacy. And if you will see about the civilization perspective, it is comparable to the all the world that civilization, past civilization like Aztec, Inca, that Mesopotamian, Chinese, that Maya civilization, any civilization you can say, it was as per those civilization. Indian mathematics you may say, Indian religion you may say, Indian architecture you can say, whatever architecture, because this is nothing but it is the outcome of education. But whether as William Durant has written, is progress real? Whatever progress that we are making now, because we are constructing a bridge now, it is not continuing for 10 years. But the temples like Panar, the temples like Jagannath temple, the temples like you can say Rameswaram and many others was existing for thousands of years. You can imagine that how that the education system was strong and India was the leader in that context. Because from every perspective, you can say in art, in science, in architecture, in our Arthashastra, our that Dhanurvidya, our Shilpa Shastra, our Rasayana Vigyana, our Bhautika Vigyana, our Nyaya Shastra, किसी भी चीज के whatever you can say, the position of India is second to the known at the world level. So that Indian numeral, which is also called Arabic numeral, that has been that invented or explored from India, and the whole world is using that word. They have been a very big part of glory. India had a glorious part in every field of life. It may be art, science, commerce, business, trade, and any field. You can say Indian. That means you can see about the 3rd century that Asakan, that fight between Utkala, that Kalinga war. At that time it was not Utkala Kalinga war, so it was also extraordinary that time. So Indian development, so education should infuse because we have Varna Vyavastha. You think that Varna Vyavastha अच्छा है ना बुरा है? बुरा है. आप अगर देखेंगे early Vedic period, it was not on the basis of caste. It was basis of your deeds. It was not basis of caste or Varna. It was on the basis of a Shudra can be Brahmin, a Brahmin can be Shudra only with the effort. That is why in Bhagavad Gita also you will find Karma Yoga, then Nyaya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Nyaya Yoga, that Bhakti Yoga, that Karma Yoga, or you can say so many yogas are many 3 and 4 are there. Jnana Yoga है, that भक्ति योग है, ये सब है, लेकिन सबसे बड़ा कर्म है. कर्म फिलोसफी वाज देयर इन इंडियन दैट एजुकेशन सिस्टम. आश्रम व्यवस्था, such a developed system. In 4 ashrams were there. Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and yet in this 4 ashrams there were 4 Purushashtras to achieve. What are those? Dharma Artha. Brahmacharya stage में क्या? What were the things that we wanted to achieve? Only dharma. In Brahmacharya mainly dharma. In that Grahastha, dharma, artha, kama. In Vanaprastha, dharma and samuhat moksha. In sannyasa, totally moksha. You can see. So what is rich civilization we have. But let's see, you can look to the our Gupta dynasty. You can think about our Maurya dynasty. You can think about the Palas in East. Kalinga, that means Kalinga in that East. Pratiharas, Pandyas, Cholas. India has a very rich legacy of civilization, rich legacy of dynasty, knowledge, dynasty, culture, Indian tradition बहुत rich है. And in this rich culture, our students should know, our followers should know, our upcoming generation should know. At the same time, they should go for development. They should be proficient with higher technology, AI learning, machine learning, 3D technology, and many more, robotics, many more. So there should be a balance between global challenges and our tradition and values. As the fish cannot live without water, a man cannot live without the culture. An education system cannot be visualized without culture. That is why living your culture, you may not be educated. That is why taking your tradition, taking your value system, taking your rich heritage, you have to go and you have to also target the whole world, become or make target to achieve the global challenges or attend the global challenges so that India can be a global superpower. And that is why what actually we need what? There should be a symbiosis between the Indian knowledge tradition and global knowledge tradition, Indian cultural values and global challenges, Indian ethos and global demand. If the symbiosis can be made, if one should be convergent about the both, then one can achieve the or become the true spirit. You will see the Guru Sishya Parampara that Prakash was telling that you can present your Guru Shiksha Parampara. It was excellent. One of my presentation was there because that presentation will take around 2 hours. That my presentation, one especially on the Indian knowledge tradition, it will take around 2 hours. You can show that one because I may not show because I need 4 or 5 hours if I can show 2-3 presentation. But totally solely based on Indian knowledge system. But my point is that because we have other also people and I may not take the more time for that. So really, if you have to bring our education system, teacher education to the global level, to the top level, so and to make your system internationalized, so your preparation should be accordingly, and you should make a bridge among the both tradition as well as modernity. So, and in this regard, the seminar of these 2 days will be quite meaningful, fruitful, beneficial, good for you, good for the entire that region. I am very much thankful to this institution with which I have an association about last 30 years. I am thankful to the principal. I am thankful to my previous principal of this college because last time when seminar was there, I was very busy in my work, but I could not come. And I am thankful to your all the convener, co-convener, and your that Prakash is there, and many teachers are that our Vijay sir is there, the co-convener, then Kulomani ji and other teachers are there, whole team, the college as a whole. I am very much thankful. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for a wonderful discussion. You highlighting a very important aspects of transforming teacher education, also highlighting the key points of NEP 2020. Now, I would like to invite guest of honor, Professor Bimal Kishore sir, to address the audience.
Very good afternoon. Namaskar. First of all, I would like to say my heartfelt thanks to the principal and the patron of this seminar. The topic of this seminar is Transforming Teacher Education, Integrating Indian Traditions and Global Trends. My colleague, Professor Basantia, the Dean School of Education at St. Jharkhand. Dr. Dupendra Sahu, Associate Professor and Head, School of Humanities, Social Sciences and Management, IIT Bhubaneswar. The convener of this seminar, Dr. Benani Mohanty Madam. The co-convener, Dr. Vijay Kumar Swayam. The other teachers, faculty members of this college, distinguished guests from other institutes, research scholars. Last but not least, the prospective teachers, those are here, the young people here in this 2-day seminar. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to interact with all people here in this 2-day seminar. I will not take too much time, as already you know that most of the things shared by my colleague Professor Basantia, and he discussed a lot regarding the main theme of the seminar, that is transforming teacher education, integrating Indian traditions and global trends. But still, because I am also a speaker, I have to share a few words with you all the people here. So let me start. We are now talking about the transforming of teacher education, and then we have the colon and main focus is on the integrating Indian traditions and global trends. It means we are talking about the education that may be, that integrating both, that may be the global trends that we may compete at the national or international level. Also, we may go for the local, for those we have already, for which the Bharat is known actually. So, directly or indirectly, we are not doing the same thing actually. We started with the worship of Lord Jagannatha. This is Indian traditions, is it not? Yes. Then we facilitated our guests, it means me and others, is it? Then we have also the global trends here. You can see the overhead projectors where we can use one of the PPTs or all other things. Then we have teachers and some students here. Those are dressed with the local traditions. Is it or not? And we have teachers also and students here. Those are dressed with the modern dresses. The thing is that we are most of among these people. So the thing is that directly or indirectly we are not doing the same thing. Actually, our integration is doing. Is it not? But sometimes we have to do. Just like what Swami Vivekananda said, the education, the manifestation of divine perfection already in man. But we are trying to find out that manifestation. That is also one of the main things. Is it? Now we are thinking about now that we are preparing the teachers for the 21st century. Yesterday, Basantya sir was saying that we are preparing the teacher for the 21st century. Yes, we are preparing the teacher for the 21st century. And we are not talking about the transformation. Then it means we are preparing the teacher for the 19th century. Is it? So the thing is that we have to think about the transformation. Whatever is going on in our country, or maybe that in the abroad, we have to think globally also. The education system, because we are not only that particularly limited to the national or the local level, but we have to think about the globally, because we have to think what is happening in other countries, so that we may also make our teacher education in a proper way. Is it? So the thing is that the teacher is that who is no visionary. The teacher who is a philosopher and he can think or see a little bit ahead. Is it? Now the small reality check is what we are doing it. Today's that students are using the smartphones. Is it not? And they are much faster than their teachers' laptops. Is it? Now gone are the days when we are talking about we are saying that the students don't use your mobile phone in the classrooms. Is it? Now teacher is asking the students, use your mobile phone in the classroom, but for teaching and learning process. Earlier what we are saying, don't use your mobile phones. But now thing is that we are not that changing, we are transforming with the global trend where we need such type of things. We are talking about the machine learning, we are talking about the artificial intelligences. Is it? We are talking about the different things, those are really needs in the classroom. That's why we are talking. On the other hand, but we are trying to say to the people that our students are much faster than our teachers. Is it? They know everything. The Google is nowadays their second teacher. First time, or maybe sometimes the YouTube is their first teacher. Sometimes. Is it not? The teachers are teaching the classrooms. And nowadays it's very challenging for a teacher to teach the students in the classroom actually. For you the people, those are coming generation now. It's very challenging job for you the people to manage the class for 40 minutes or maybe for 45 minutes or maybe for 1 hour. Is it not? Now there is a very much challenging job for you the people, for me the people also. Because why? What is the reason? The reason is that students are involved in their that smartphones. Whatever we want to teach the students, they already knows. I have told you, they already knows from the Google and the YouTube. So whatever I am trying to teach you the people, you already knows. Then why will you listen to me in the classrooms? Are you getting? Nowadays students are not scrolling the reels. They have no patience to watch reels for 10 seconds. Then why they will listen to 40 minutes in the classrooms when they are not able to? The patience of the students are very less. Is it? Now what is the challenges for a teacher that how to manage the classrooms? How to integrate or maybe that these classrooms, so we or maybe how to engage these classrooms in their for 40 minutes. That is been one of the most challenging job for a teacher. Is it? So these are the realities for that we have to come. Now the thing is that we are now, these are the gone days when we are talking about the chalks and talks. Is it? When we are talking about that notes and dictations. Now the learners are very faster. Is it? And they are not thinking about that with their mobile phones or something. They don't want to listen for we the people. But we are talking about the modern pedagogies nowadays. But besides that, we have to think about the Gurukul system. From where we started. Okay. From where we have started the holistic development of the individuals. The holistic development we are talking about. Earlier we are talking about the all-round development, but nowadays we are talking about the holistic development. The all-round development is just like that Separately, we are giving the focus on the physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, language development. We are giving. But nowadays, there is some other because that is holistic development. We are because we are trying to integrate all those things together. That may be one. And in the holistic education, when we are talking about, then we are talking about the Panch Kosh actually. Is it Anmay Kosh, Pranmay Kosh, Manomay Kosh, Vigyanmay Kosh, or Anandamay Kosh? From the when we are going to read this the National Education Curriculum Framework, NCERT has recently launched in 2023. Then you will go through this exercise telling about the foundation stage, where you will read about the Panch Kosha, where you read about the Panchpadi. Okay, they much focus on the Panch Kosha model of the foundational stage. That is, the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 system of education there at the high level. That is, that foundational stage. They are talking about the Panch Kosha model. Here we need much more about physical the energy. That is, that maybe Vigyan or Anand Kosha. We are talking about too much about it. So the thing is that when we are talking about the traditions, that Indian tradition, simultaneously we are talking about the global trends. Those are very much that needed for the people. So now we are talking about the content delivered. We are making that that the teachers should make the students maybe that what the life matters. We are talking about because reality is different. Sometimes after doing your B.Ed from here, after maybe some of you are in second year, maybe some of you are in first year. But the thing is that after completion of your 2 years B.Ed, the curriculum which you study, you will go to the real field, the real classrooms. Then you will think whatever I have learned, whether this curriculum is fruitful for me in the real classrooms or not. That is the main challenging job for you. Nowadays you are learning so much, maybe learning theory, intelligence theories, or maybe personality theories. So many things are you learning. Is it? Then you will learn the skills, micro teaching, whatever you are doing, whatever the trainings you are receiving here from your teachers. But the thing is that you have to apply all those things in the real classrooms. When you will go to the teaching practice, and when after completion of this 2 years program, when you will join some schools, then you will think whether that curriculum which we have studied at that time in our 2-year B.Ed duration is relevant to the real field or not. Then you have to integrate that one also, because the education which we have received, now that is the different for you the people here. The education which you have received, that is also maybe different to the next generation which you are going to teach actually. We are all the product of the 10 plus 2 plus 3 system of education. But to whom you are going to teach in after some time, that may be the product of maybe the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 education system. And so many changes are there in the education system now. In our times, we have so many punishments from our teachers. Right now, you can't say single word to your students actually. Is it or not? So that is also one of the challenging jobs for you, the people, that how to manage the classrooms. In our times, when the teacher is coming, maybe when we see that 100 meters away our teacher is coming, we move from side. Nowadays, it's very difficult. The teacher is coming, the students are going. We'll see in such a. There was one video viral maybe few days ago. One teacher has saw one student is taking maybe cigarette something. Is it? He scolded the students, but students came back and he hit him. Is it? The teacher is crying and students are that thing is that what is happening in the society. Now the thing is that why this global trends and they are the global trends because they are watching the reels, they are watching the movies and something and the environment in such a way. Their parents are also making them in such a way. Is it? Sometimes. Now we are talking about that the parents actually. Nowadays the expectation of teachers is less sometimes, but parents are more. Every parent wants that my kid becomes everything. He may be the doctor, he may be the engineer, he may be everything. Is it not? And after when he is in the 9th class, we are sent him to the one dark room. You know dark room? Dark room, you know? What is dark room? ये जो डिजिटल अभी आया ना कैमरा, इससे पहले दूसरा स्टिल कैमरा होता था जिसमें नेगेटिव्स होते थे. नेगेटिव्स होते ना देखा कभी किसी ने वो रील्स जब रील्स बोलते थे और नेगेटिव एक रील आती थी उसको कैमरे में डालते थे फोटो खींचते थे और बड़ा रेयर खींचते थे ताकि रील खराब हो जाए फिर डेवलप कराना पड़ता था मतलब जाके उसमें और फिर उसको पैसा देना पड़ता था. और जहाँ डेवलप करता था उस रील को उस कमरे को बोलते डार्क रूम. और वहाँ अंधेरा होगा, थोड़ा सा भी लाइट चली गई तो रील खराब हो जाएगी, फोटो डेवलप नहीं हो पाएगा. That is known as the dark room actually. So the same is the dark room used for nowadays for the kids actually. When kid is in the 9th class, we send him in the one dark room. हम तुम्हें सब देंगे यहाँ पे, खाना भी वहीं देंगे, सब कुछ देंगे, तुम्हें निकलना नहीं है बाहर. बच्चा अंदर है कमरे में. क्यों? क्योंकि उसको इंजीनियरिंग की तैयारी करनी है, मेडिकल की तैयारी करनी है. 4 साल तक वो बंद रहता है. You know, 9 से लेके +2 तक वो बंद रहेगा. फिर उसके बाद वो निकलेगा. उसके बाद भी उसको कोचिंग में भेज दिया जाएगा. किसी से मिलना नहीं है. पेरेंट्स आ रहे हैं, सॉरी गेस्ट आ रहे हैं, उसके कजन्स आ रहे हैं, ना बच्चा पढ़ रहा है. उसकी सोशल जो डेवलपमेंट वो रुक जाती है बच्चे. अब वो अगर कर पाया तो ठीक है, नहीं कर पाया तो वहाँ कोटा में जाके सुसाइड कर लेता है. बहुत सारे सुसाइड्स केस अभी बढ़ रहे हैं. अब सोचिए जरा, सोशल लाइफ जीरो, इमोशनल लाइफ जीरो, जो हम लोग चाहते हैं होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट, है ना. एजुकेशन में अगर कर पाए, सब तो नहीं बनेगा ना इंजीनियर डॉक्टर्स. लाखों बच्चे बैठते हैं, उसमें से कम ही कर पाते ना, जिसमें सब तो नहीं कर पाएंगे. अब उस बच्चे का क्या होगा? ना सोशल लाइफ है, ना स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ है, ना इमोशनल लाइफ है जो बच्चे को चाहिए. फिर हम बोलते हैं बच्चा अच्छा हो, हमारा बच्चा संस्कारी हो, सब कुछ उसमें आएगा कहाँ से? फ्रॉम वेयर वी विल गिव टू. अभी जैसे आप लोग यहाँ आ रहे हैं, बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं, कैसे ऑटो से आते हैं, कैसे बस में आते हैं, धक्का खा के आते हैं, सीट नहीं मिलती, खड़े होके आते हैं, सीख रहे हैं. सोशल लाइफ है हमारे, ये भी सीखना पड़ता है. दैट वी हैव टू लर्न नाउ. और जब बच्चा, हम लोग उसको सब फैसिलिटी देंगे, गाड़ी से भेजेंगे, सबसे भेजेंगे, एसी वाली गाड़ी है, ये उतार रहा है, जब जा रहा है, बच्चा सीखेगा क्या? वो कैसे उन बच्चों को जिनको पढ़ाना है, हाउ यू विल लर्न कि मेरी क्लास में बच्चे कैसे आ रहे हैं. जब हम सोशल लाइफ की बात करते हैं तो लोकल ट्रेंड्स है ना, गुरुकुल सिस्टम में तो सब बराबर था. एवरीथिंग वाज इक्वल. ये यूनिफॉर्म आप लोगों को किस लिए लगा? यूनिफॉर्म इसलिए थोड़ी है कि एक कॉलेज की पहचान. यूनिफॉर्म इज दैट यूनिफॉर्म, सब एक जैसे दिखे, कोई अमीर सोशो इकोनॉमिक जो स्टेटस है सब बराबर दिखे सब बच्चों का, इसलिए यूनिफॉर्म है हम लोगों को. तो स्कूल में सब बराबर, वैसे गुरुकुल सिस्टम में भी सब बराबर थे, सबको इक्वल राइट्स था, सबको इक्वल हम लोग एजुकेशन देते थे. सेम एजुकेशन सिस्टम वाज देयर, है ना. तो दैट सिस्टम वी हैव चेंज एक्चुअली. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द इंडियन ट्रेडिशन. फिर से बात जाना हम लोगों को पीछे जाना है. क्यों पीछे जाना? क्योंकि वी आर नॉट ना हम लोग ग्लोबल ट्रेंड्स को टीचर से पकड़ पाए और ना ही इंडियन ट्रेडिशंस को हम लोग थोड़ा छोड़ पाए टीचर से. तो उसको भी हम लोग नहीं ले पा रहे हैं. So that is the main thing, that how we may able to cope or maybe integrate these two Indian traditions or the global trends. The social quiescent, spiritual quiescent or emotional quiescent. These are three very important for the busy people. Recently I have learned one news, or maybe heard one news, that 3 girls, sisters in Ghaziabad, they are watching K-drama, Korean drama. They have the parents has given them mobile phone and the father is just given. Sometimes one day father has called them, no, you will not use this phone and for the Korean drama also. 3 girls committed suicide together actually. You see, or maybe then you can Google after this. So the thing is that they are much that they are involved in the K-drama or the reels or something, but emotions are very less. Is it? When they are in the home, all are using mobile phone. The screen time is okay, no problem. That is also because I already told you the people that right now we are asking use mobile phones in your classroom, but for only teaching and learning. When it is excessive use, then there is a problem. You know from where we came? We came from Ranchi, and Ranchi is known for what? Is it? So when we interact with this hospital, the doctors, they are saying what are the problems of the kids nowadays. The kids are not doing their talking individually. Sometimes they are using different actions right now. Why? Because their screen time is too much. And most of the students or maybe kids have problems of such type of using excessive use of smart phones. That is also one of the problems. And the interaction at the family is very less among the users. And sometimes when anything happens to the kids at the school level or something, the parents are become too much conscious toward them, and they call the teachers and the parents or maybe the principals and everything. Nobody is listening about the teachers. So that is also one of the important things for the people. So how to manage these two separate entities, that may be global trends and this education system. Global trends are there. Now we are talking about the education system as Satya sir told, that engagement, then enjoyable, that activity-based, experiential learning, constructivist approach, these are all the global trends. Okay, when NEP 2020 came, now very soon we are going to celebrate the 6th anniversary of NEP 2020 in July. Already 6 years are going to complete, is it? And NEP is a very good document actually. There are so many things are written there, but we are not able to implement it properly. Sometimes the states are not cooperating. Sometimes that the NEPs came, but the thing is that we are not able to tell the people who are at the ground level. That is the main thing is there. Ground level is to whom they have to implement in the real classrooms. They are not able to understand it. Among you, the people, the think critical. How many among you, the people have known that? Think honestly, have studied 64 pages of this NEP 2020. 6 years already completed. We are in the teacher education program. How many among we the people has gone through the national curriculum framework? No. The thing is that we are going to this policy documents actually. Just sir is telling that this higher education and the school education has separate that all things are there. Then both are that 5+3+3 and +4. Then higher education is degree, certificate, diploma or research degree. Then PG is 1 year. But there are some levels are also there. Think this is not in the integrated teacher education program. After when we join the integrated teacher education program, when we complete the first year, we will not get the certificate. There is also some reasons are there why we will not get the certificate. Think critically, why we will not get the certificate when we do integrated teacher education program. When we will do the second year, why we will not get the diploma. This is only in the Father General that BA and BSc programs, but not in the teacher education. So there are some maybe limitations, or maybe some things are there, but we can integrate that one. So integration is also very important for PD people, that how we can think critically. The thing is that we have to integrate this Indian traditions. Then the contextual classrooms, how we know that classrooms are maybe contextually in this nature. Those where we are teaching. Another thing is that the methodology, the methods through which we are teaching to our students, the pedagogy, the modern pedagogy, to whom we are calling modern pedagogy. The pedagogy is same for the teachers. Whatever the pedagogy we are teaching in the earlier times, the same pedagogy we are applying sometimes. But still, we are making it in a different way. The curriculum which we are teaching to the students is not great actually. The great teachers make the curriculum great as well. That is also one of the things. Is it? The curriculum may be taught by a great teacher, then may be a good thing for it. You think critically. When we are in the 10th class, the curriculum is same for the whole country from CBSE or any board. Suppose there is one topic taught by BD people from one teacher, maybe suppose he is teaching noun. So noun is taught by all the teachers throughout the country in different styles. Is it not? So some teachers are becoming our favorite teachers, some teachers are not the favorite teachers. Why? That is the reason actually. The style of teaching, their methods of teaching, their pedagogical styles, they make them different actually. Is it not? So that is also thing. Some of the teachers are teaching us through experiential based learning. From that time also. Some of the teachers are teaching us through activity based. Some teachers are making demonstrations. Some teachers have a good relation. Some teachers are the facilitators, not the content delivers. Is it not? Some teachers are that learn that his emotions are very deep. We have to create that emotion. Is it? So they are going very deep among the people. They have sometimes when this corona period came, when we are going through the online classes, the physical presence is absent. Nobody is thinking, only corporate development is going on. When you are in the classroom, you see, if the teacher is moving in the classroom and he just say, oh, kya badhiya hai, then we feel motivated sometimes. Because the physical presence of the teacher is also very important for the teacher. Sometimes when eye contact is going among the teachers and students, the teachers immediately know that this student has some problem. When after the class, he asks the students, usually come to this office and he asks, what is the problem? Then 2-3 times when he asked, sir, I am not able to pay the fee or some problem is there. The teacher gave money to him, okay, go and pay the fee, something is there. So then these emotions or something, that social relations are not making the teachers and students bond relationship is in a deeper way. But when these online classes are going on, very less interaction is there among the users and physical, and then Only cognitive domain is developed, but the affective and psychomotor and the cognitive domain is very less developed among the people. So we need that one. Now the question is that what I am trying to say to you, the people will not take some time. That global trend is also equal because we have to go local. Is it global and local and this, we have to think critically. All the things is important for many people. But we are the Indians. We have some traditions here. We have the Gurukul system. We have some values which we have learned from our parents, from our teachers, from our elders. Those are also very important for we the people. Because our education system is Indian or Bharatiya. It is not the Western actually. But we have to compete also in the global level, so that we need also this global trends in our education system, so that we are not just like go back, just like what is going on in the education system of other countries. We have to compete with them also. But same times we have to just Sir is teaching in this IIT Bhubaneswar, Indian Institute of Technology. So these are also they are separate, that maybe what we can mandate of those institutions and known for their identity as different. But we are in the universities or something. So they have to maintain their one. We can say think that they have maintained the same things, and we are the different institutions. We have to maintain the same thing. But we have to work together. Integration is very important in the global trends and the Indian education system. So whatever we are trying to work in our education system is both important and. After all, we are all that Bharatiya, is it? So we have to think for which the Indian or maybe Bharat is known, the education system we have to adopt in such a way. So thank you so much. I will not take because Sari is also there. So thank you so much for listening to me and giving me opportunity to.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting good examples of Indian traditions and global traditions, and how it is very difficult to manage the classroom situations. You also highlighting this one in front of our students. And the main aspect or the important thing is that the keeping the energy to continue the 45 minutes class, is too much important. And for that sake, we have to see that type of energy from yesterday to till now. I also see that type of energy with our honorable speaker, Dukhabandhu sir, has that type of energy, and I think that type of energy we also expect from his speech. And now I would like to invite Dukhabandhu sir to deliver.
Thank you, Vijay sir, and Jai Jagannath, the presiding lord of this beautiful land. Respected ma'am, ATC ma'am, the patron of the seminar, my very beloved friend, Tapar, who I used to कुछ भी बोलता हूँ बसंत क्या करके कुछ कमेंट भी करता हूँ इन फ्रेंड्स सेंस both work together. Then Professor Bimal, actually when I first met him at Ranchi, I think his toughest was psychological, you were on the bedroom, and the little tougher one is just before lunch, but psychologically you were on the dining room. So please do be here with me. I've got a couple of slides. So I'm given some 50 minutes or so. उन्होंने मैडम एक्चुअली वो बोल सकता हूँ कपन सर इतना बोले फिर मैं भी बोलूँगा क्योंकि घर में बोलने के लिए मौका नहीं So this is my and it seems one. बसंतिया सर के नाम पे मैं गाली का चीज इतना सब बसंतिया सर के नाम पे रखता हूँ. अच्छा ये this is mine right no? And let me also acknowledge I have taken the help of some of my students and my son also for the comparison of this slide. And this is नहीं वो बोलता है क्योंकि वो ठीक. So this is actually the topic. So transforming teachers' education. Now navigating from the traditional knowledge system to the modern education system, where we need to integrate the Indian knowledge system into the modern system. And actually, let me put you this thing. As I said, the Indian knowledge system or education system has this basic philosophy of Savidya Javidukta. That means it's an education system which will keep you salvation. And as I said, when this modern Machiavellian system was thrusted on us, we created Machiavellian kids rather than Indian citizens, where that becomes Savidya Vikray. Actually, we just wanted to market our education to have more money or more income. That's right. But the Indian knowledge system, and because of that, it's not my quote, actually one of my teacher who told me this. The Indian education system became like this, where the content of a textbook was transmitted to the answer sheets of a student through the board work or the chalk work of a teacher without entering either's head. That's actually the last part was very dangerous. Now, it's किताब में जो है that she called rote learning or rote teaching or something like that. But क्या होता था कि किताब में जो लिखा हुआ है उसी को हम कैसे मेमोराइज करके टीचर कुछ पढ़ाए, कोई चॉक टॉक से बताता था, कोई पावर पॉइंट से बताता था, कैसे भी है हम आंसर शीट्स में लिखते थे. एंड मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट इट वाज नॉट एंटरिंग ईदर सेट, ईदर द टीचर भी सोचते नहीं. आजकल हमारा तो ओडिशा में जो सिस्टम है बिल्कुल ही सोच नहीं. हमारा जो जेजेबा एक्चुअली आई कैन यूज सम ऑफ ओडिया इफ यू वांट आई कैन ट्रांसलेट. माय ग्रैंडमदर यूज्ड टू स्टे टू द स्कूल टीचर who was also the teacher to my father. इसका सर से गर्दन से यहाँ तक छोड़ के कहाँ भी पिटाई कर सकते हो. इस साइड में मत करो. और उसका ओडी छात्र नहले पाठ होबो. But we came out with a policy which is अंडा युक्त but दंड मुक्त. It's very perfect. It is currently I am given an assignment by the OSEPA, the government of Odisha, to do an evaluation. Of course, Balasore is not in that evaluation list. Believe me, when I did a bit of scouting to find out who actually I should be interviewing, who I should be interviewing, I went to teachers. There are a group of NGOs, schools or government has some intervention strategies to improve the teaching capabilities of the teachers and lot of other things. And believe me, actually it's an apathy that good number of stakeholders even do not know that such a policy does exist. That's because teachers, for me, my teacher was like this, that teacher who happened to be my father's teacher also. If I miss a single class in my school, he will come, search and send a search warrant with other kids कि कहाँ गया ये बंदा, और मुझे वो बिना पिटाई करके भी वो मुझे लेके जाते थे. कभी ऐसे दंडों में ऐसा कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं आता था. But he was so compassionate, क्योंकि मैं शरारत बच्चा हूँ, अभी भी हूँ, तब तो और ज़्यादा था. थोड़ा लगाम आ गया शादी के बाद. कभी नदी में तैर रहा होगा, कहाँ मछली पकड़ रहा होगा, सुबह जाके these are the kids kind of things actually. और वो जाके वहाँ से भी मुझे उठा के लेके आते थे कि प्लीज. That was the kind of teacher actually. But every teacher, because his entire energy he was devoting towards teaching. सुबह भी पढ़ाते थे और रात को भी पढ़ाते थे और फ्री सब. लेकिन अभी क्या है, ये जो दंड मुक्त अंडा युक्त हो गया, इसमें क्या होगा? टीचर्स आर असाइन्ड लॉट ऑफ अदर रूल्स. कभी कहाँ से अंडा खरीदा जाएगा, कहाँ ब्रीडिंग होगा, किसी दिन डीओ आएगा, किसी दिन बीओ आएगा. और ये सब में एक्चुअली दे आर लॉस्ट इन सो मेनी अदर थिंग्स. And the most unfortunate part of this country or of this state and its education system is like, पता नहीं सर, actually we did a very interesting study तपन सर के साथ travel to बच्चों की education system के ऊपर किए थे. I learned a lot actually from him how to do that kind of analysis. But मेरे अंडा खरीदने में जो पैसा है, और मैंने ये बताया ना, जो पहला सेंटेंस मैंने बोला, पैसा तो खुदा नहीं, लेकिन कसम खुदा की, खुदा से कम. जिस दिन लालच लग जाएगा आपको पैसा का, उसी दिन आपका सारा इंतजार डिक्लेयर हो जाएगा. वो टीचर हो या जो भी है ना. हालांकि आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग दैट देयर आर एक्सट्रीमली गुड टीचर्स, बट जिस दिन इनको जैसे तपन सर बोले कि अंडा खरीदने में पैसा है, वो पैसा का लालच लग गया तो डायलूट हो जाएगा. सर बोले, विमल जी बोले कि 15-20-30 मीटर से हम कोई हमारा टीचर्स को जब देखते थे, we used to take a different route. ये जब बोल रहे थे, I was just quiet. मेरा मामा का बेटा हमारे टीचर थे अभिमन्यु साहब, उनको आधा किलोमीटर दूर से देखने से ये नीचे गिर के वो रोएगा से, ये आउट से नीचे गिर इतना मतलब अगर कुछ गलत कर दिया एंड यू बिकम अ सोशल डेविएंट, फॉरगेट अबाउट एजुकेशन सिस्टम. पढ़ाई ना आए तो अलग बात है, फिर भी यू डोंट कंप्लाई टू द सोशल नॉर्म्स, जो बट पिटते नहीं, जो सब बोल. मेरा मामा का बेटा वहां से देखते ही है, मैं तो आई यूज्ड टू टेक डिफरेंट, बट वो so that's but I'm not saying that that kind of terror one should have, but as a teacher you need to be compassionate, you need to be careful, you need to live the life of a student. Agar if you don't like others to do something to you, please don't do it to your student, don't do it to others. अगर आप खुद स्टूडेंट होते तो आप खुद थोड़ी एक्चुअली ये अच्छा नहीं. मैंने एक बार बोल दिया, हालांकि एक बार मैंने कर दिया था काम आसाम यूनिवर्सिटी में जो आज तक हिसाब में है, बट हमारा यहाँ डायरेक्ट, उसके बाद मेरे को बहुत बुरा लगा.
बच्चे 4 साल तक पास नहीं कर पाए.
नहीं, वो बात अलग है, लेकिन यहाँ क्या मुझे IIT में ये एजुकेशन का रिस्पांसिबिलिटी दिया गया. Then when the director was addressing, we have that induction program, induction parents सब आए, मैंने खड़ा साथ बोला डायरेक्टर साहब मुझे इन्विजिलेशन ड्यूटी मत डालिए, कोई बच्चों को कॉपी करते हुए पकड़ते देख के मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता है ना. Then he said why? Actually वो बच्चे इतना मासूम सा चेहरा करते पता नहीं है, because I had not only that Nivedita, actually I had a very terrible experience. One of my students during my stint at Assam University, who was a Manipuri guy, is from a poor family, but मैंने उसका family background कुछ पता नहीं था, and he was caught. उसको actually to have his livelihood, to have his sustenance for the education for 1 more year, it was real burdensome. But after he passed out, I met him in a market में salesman के साथ I saw him. That time once actually I'm a teacher to teach. I'm not a teacher to pass or fail something. That's all. For me, that's मैं यहाँ पढ़ाने आया हूँ, बच्चों को पढ़ाऊँगा, उनकी प्रॉब्लम समझ के, प्रॉब्लम सोच के ये पढ़ाऊँगा. लेकिन उसको पास या फेल करना ना मेरा हक में है, ना मेरा अधिकार में है. वो जो तपन सर बोल रहे थे कोर्ट का केस में, वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट, with due respect to Supreme Court, I'll tell you, sir, that issue that giving them that menstrual leave for 2 days, we're giving it 2 days, even if the Supreme Court has stopped it, we're giving it at 2 days. Imagine actually, if आपको अगर छोटा सा खरूच आ गया कितना पेन होता है, छोटा सा बॉयल आ जाता है कितना पेन होता है. एक लेडी who carries a baby for 9 months कितना पेन हुआ होगा. आपका छोटा सा ये कांटा लग जाता है तो कितना पेन. Imagine. तो अगर उसी को उसी दिक्कत के टाइम 2 दिन छुट्टी दिया जाता है and your private sector cannot withstand it. That's why the top of the board has said not to give that. I do not buy that kind of an argument. If you do not have control over it, how come? मैं यहाँ तक भी मेरे बच्चों को बोलता हूँ कि ये कैसा कल्चर है जिस कल्चर में दो लड़कों का झगड़ा हो गया, बली पड़ी कौन, परेशान उठाई कौन, एक लड़की. That's famous to महिषासुर हमारा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट विद इंद्र के साथ उसका कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हुआ. भाई तुम दोनों का लड़ाई हो, तुम दोनों निपटाओ, एक लड़की दुर्गा रानी क्यों सट आउट करेगी? What? That's actually in my village, of course, someone has helped me also. So दुर्गा जी का मंदिर हमने बनाया है. भाई तो है ना recently it's us. You need to be, that's really inclusive. I may be biologically a male, but I should have that kind of compassionate, that kind of understanding. जब मैं मेरे माँ को देखता हूँ तो कितना दिक्कत, मेरे दीदी को देखता हूँ तो कितना दिक्कत. My sister could not complete her education because the society could not provide her a hostel. She was much better a student than what I was. But मैं अगर उसका स्टोरी बताऊं तो मैडम आप लोग यकीन नहीं करेंगे. As a 13-year kid, when she completed her 7th standard, she had to go to her higher study 8th standard के लिए जाना था. Next गांव में जाना था. And the school's distance was roughly 12 kilometers. Every day she has to go 12 kilometers, come back 12 kilometers, crossing a river without any road. There was no road. She had to walk through the terrains of the agriculture field. Imagine. So it's education, but our education system. I am not saying that the traditional education system or Indian education system was great. We had also that kind of teacher like Drona who used to ask a student, please give your thumb. That's also a very bad practice. है ना? ये भी गुरु द्रोण को जो बड़े गुरु मानते हैं, मैं नहीं मानता हूँ भाई उसको. Who gave you this liberty? वो शिष्य है, वो स्टूडेंट था, वो माना कि आप मेरा टीचर है, दो आपने उसको ऑनलाइन पढ़ाया, वो बोला ऑनलाइन पढ़ाया, वो माना कि मैं ऑनलाइन पढ़ा, आपने कभी पता भी नहीं था आपका स्टूडेंट है, आपको किसने ये अधिकार दिया कि आप उसका उठा डालें? ये कौन सा एजुकेशन सिस्टम है? So it's not that actually we will try to integrate everything what was there in our education system in the earlier days or the Vedic days or in the Munisi days. We'll try to take something which are good, try to integrate it into the modern education system. That's what actually is. The Indian education landscape, which I said, was like that, where we had this philosophy of Savidya Vimukta, and unfortunately, over the course of the educational reform, it became like a system where the transcript or the contents of a book was transmitted to the answer sheets of a student without entering either set. Now, so to get out of that kind of an education system where we do only produce the Machiavellian kids rather than dedicated, compassionate teachers who are dedicated for the growth of this economy, for growth of this country, and the development of this country. This NEP actually came with. I won't also say that NEP is the gospel. NEP doesn't require any revision. It also requires revision. Change is the only constant in this world. You have to accept, actually, given the requirement of the society, given the requirement of the community, you need to have a flexible education system or that matter, any kind of policy that gives you the scope to change. So, what are things? Actually, also, of course, Vasantia Sir had given in details what was the teacher's transformation part. Year in 2020, NEP 2020. The most fascinating thing, of course, हमारा जो ओडिशा में एजुकेशन सिस्टम में बोल रहा था, एक बात बोल दो तो, हमारे it's the only system where we have some 20 or 30 types of teachers. Para teachers, गण टीचर, गण शिक्षक, मनो शिक्षक, पारक शिक्षक, कोपद शिक्षक, पता नहीं कौन कौन कहते हैं, आधार टीचर. Teacher is a teacher. Please give him or the identity of a teacher. वो उतना ही एंड ये जो पॉलिसी डेवलप करते हैं टीचर्स के बीच डिवीजन करके, और ये भी हम वी फॉल प्रे टू दैट काइंड ऑफ अ सिस्टम। ये जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स हैं वो ऐसा कर देते हैं, आप 365 वाला स्कूल का टीचर हो, ये 657 वाला स्कूल का टीचर है, और उन दोनों का भी झगड़ा कर देता है। सेम पढ़ाते हैं, कभी कभी कम पढ़ाते हैं और ज्यादा पैसा लेते हैं। जब मैं आसाम यूनिवर्सिटी में पहला टीचर हुआ 2004 में, एंड सब्सिक्वेंटली माय फ्रेंड कम एंड जॉइन देयर, उसी टाइम आसाम यूनिवर्सिटी से बच्चों को नेट या कुछ मिल नहीं रहा था। I was the first one who introduced a free net coaching, of course supported by my friends. And proud में बोलता हूँ, आज मुझे जो वहाँ रिप्लेस किया है वो मेरा स्टूडेंट। जब मैंने वहाँ से क्लियर लेकर आया, मेरे जगह पे अभिजीत को मिला, and he is one of the best actually in the business now. And after that, when we joined, after that, it's not that I'm saying we did all those good things, but हमारा आने के बाद का जो आसाम यूनिवर्सिटी का आउटकम आप देखें, आउटकम in the form of their publications, outcome in the form of their performance in the national level competitions like NET, GATE, or whatever. Actually, it was tremendous. That was more satisfying. I'm still in touch with Assam University as an educator, but Tapan sir is connected to Assam University and Assam teacher because of his social connection. मेरा professional connection में हूँ, तो that's actually kind of what you call involvement we had. तभी हमारा शादी नहीं हुआ था, तो सर हम नेट का कोचिंग करवाते थे। नेट का जब कोचिंग कर रहे थे, पहले एक्चुअली यूनिवर्सिटी के बोगस जो 5 साल सीनियर है वही नेट पढ़ाएंगे। नेट का कोचिंग पहले 5 साल जो सीनियर है रीडर लेवल का पढ़ाएंगे, तो रीडर हुआ करते। फिर मैंने वाइस चांसलर से पूछा, सर ये लोग जब खुद कभी नेट क्लियर नहीं किए वो क्या पढ़ाएंगे? मैंने पूछा और मैंने वहां पूछा, सर ये खुद कभी नेट क्लियर नहीं किए हैं वो क्या पढ़ाएंगे? आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि वो पढ़ा नहीं पाएंगे, बट इफ देयर इज समबडी मे बी young but has cleared net, has the understanding of what is the examination, he should be given the opportunity. And कभी भी वहाँ सारे यूनिवर्सिटी में वो रेगुलेशंस था, शायद विमान को भी पता होगा कि वही लोग गाइड कर सकते हैं, पीएचडी गाइड कर सकते हैं जो 5 साल पोस्ट पीएचडी एक्सपीरियंस है। शायद मुझे है ना, मैं ही पहला इंसान आसाम यूनिवर्सिटी में जिसे वाइस चांसलर डायरेक्टली शूट किया, तुम कर सकते हो। मैं बोला, मैं मानता हूँ मैंने एक दिन मुझे तो सही लगा मेरे बच्चों के लिए। एक दिन एक्चुअली आई टेल यू, वन ऑफ माय गर्ल स्टूडेंट, आई एम स्टिल इन टच विद हर, शी वाज अ फैंटास्टिक त्रिपुरा का जो ट्राइबल डांस है उसका डांस है, वो सर आग लेके तो मुझे बहुत प्यार से बुलाई, सर आएंगे मेरा वहाँ चलिए डांस है आप जरूर आएंगे। तो मैं वहाँ गया, बट समथिंग हैपेंड एक्चुअली, बीच से वो गिर गई, तो उसका परफॉर्मेंस एक्चुअली कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ। She was crying and everybody was looking. I couldn't hold myself actually. She is my kind of daughter, kind of younger sister. मैं जाके उसको कहा, बेटी देख, तू तो कंप्लीट कर दिया, खराब हुआ जैसे भी कंप्लीट कर दिया। यहाँ जो जितना हाथ फंस गए थे ना, वो खड़ा भी नहीं हो पाए। तो that's what actually I'm not saying I'm an ideal teacher, but a teacher what should know, बसंतिया सर से should have that compass. बसंतिया भी रात को 10 बजे 12 बजे के अपना पीएचडी स्टूडेंट जो भी करते हैं बैठ के करेक्शन करता है, वो रात में आज भी मेरे बच्चे, मेरे स्टूडेंट 20 साल हो गया मैं वहां से आ चुका हूँ, 20 साल के बाद भी कहाँ विदेश में भी कभी रात को फोन करते हैं, तो रात को भी फोन करते हैं तो आई यूज्ड टू पिक अप देयर कॉल एंड ट्राई टू रिस्पॉन्ड, एटलीस्ट रिस्पॉन्ड। और दूसरा बात है जो भी चाहे अभी तो आई मुझे बीए टीचर मान रहे हैं, आई यूज्ड टू से ऑफ कोर्स क्या हॉरिजॉन्टल वर्टिकल में तो उतना एजुकेशन पढ़ा भी नहीं, पढ़ा बहुत बसंतिया सर से सीखा हूं, उनका जो गुरु है उनसे सर से थोड़ा बहुत सीखा हूं। A teacher need to have a flexible mindset first. You cannot put everybody into the same jacket. अगर बच्चों अलग हैं तो अलग हैं. We are all unequal. No unstratified society with perfect equality among its members and me, which was never seen in the pages of human history and will never be seen. As a teacher, you need to accept. अगर एक बच्चा weak है तो weak है. But that kid can also be an asset to the society, can also be contributing towards the growth and development of the society. You need to accept. And it's your responsibility how compassionate you are, how understanding you are to understand his or her problem, so that you can put yourself into each of the system. We have engineering set up, we have basic science, we have humanities, we have everything we have. That's actually Minister ji wanted to have it in IIT. We started. तो ये इसमें जो ये NEP में जो दिया गया है ना, exit policy. After 3 years, the students can exit with a degree in a major subject. Let's say किसी ने physics के साथ करा है, तो physics honors के साथ वो जा सकता है. तो मैं तो बच्चों को पूछा, and most of them were interested to go for an exit. Most of the students, 50 students will pass that one in doctorate. Almost 35, 40 students were of this opinion. Yes sir, तो third semester के final year के बाद हम एग्जिट करके हम फिजिक्स में दोनों कैरियर करना चाहते हैं. क्यों? Because of the lack of a uniform policy. आप लोग बच्चों को तो यूनिफॉर्म पहना दिए, या सब यूनिफॉर्म, लेकिन टीचर्स को यूनिफॉर्म पहना के उनके भीतर यहाँ सर ह्यूमन सर कितना हो रहा है, ये जो स्टैंडर्ड 1 से स्टैंडर्ड मतलब ये पीजी तक सम 25-30 किस्म का टीचर सेम जो ज्यादा पढ़ाता है वो कम सैलरी लेता है. जो कोई बात नहीं, यूनिवर्सिटी में हम जब पहले मेरा 19 या 20 क्लास में घूमता था ऐसे, मेरा ऐसे सिटिंग कुछ नहीं था वहाँ चिट्ठी से भाई एक चेयर टेबल लिए थे, बट मैं बच्चों के साथ घूमता था, बच्चों के साथ मिलता था, क्योंकि आई वाज जस्ट वन यंगर सीनियर टू नहीं बड़ा था, मैं उनसे 2-3 साल से बड़ा था, तो उनके साथ घूमता था. देखा कोई क्लास नहीं हो रहा है, आई यूज्ड टू एंटर इनटू दैट क्लास और क्लास लेता. तभी मैं 20-25 क्लास लेता था पर तो मेरा सैलरी सिर्फ 15, मेरा सैलरी सिर्फ. आज मैं मन किया तो 6 क्लास लेता हूँ, मन किया तो 6 क्लास लेता हूँ, क्योंकि मैं मेरा फिलोसफी ये पता है डायरेक्टर साहब, और माय क्लास इज ऑन, आई एम द डन. तो मन मेरा आज मूड है तो 6 क्लास लेता हूँ, नहीं तो 3-4 क्लास में निपट जाता है. लेकिन सैलरी मेरा बढ़ चुका है, इसीलिए हम सब इंक्लूडिंग जितना सब आपका ये साथ वगैरह जो गवर्नमेंट जॉब में, इसीलिए तो सरकारी नौकरी में आए हैं ये जो प्रकाश वगैरह हम सब है ना, क्योंकि हम जानते हैं जब तक सूरज चांद रहेगा तब तक हमारा नौकरी सलामत रहेगा. उत्तराखंड का इतना खूबसूरत वादियों को छोड़ के झारखंड की वो जो पागल खाने के पास है छोड़ेंगे, आप छोड़ेंगे ना, वो रहेंगे. वो जरा फैक्टर आ जाना, कुछ फैक्टर. सिमिलरली बनानी मैडम को देखिए, ये अपनी बीबी रहती है भुवनेश्वर में, यहाँ सरकारी नौकरी, और एक बार सरकारी नौकरी किसी सिस्टम में है हम, तो हमारा जब तक सूरज चांद रहेगा, मैं मर गया मेरा बीबी को पेंशन मिलेगा, बीच में तो मर गया तो बच्चा को तो नौकरी भी मिल जाएगा. जब तक सूरज चांद रहेंगे तब तक मेरा नौकरी सलामत है. But why that principle is not uniform across all teachers? एक आपके स्कूल में टीचर आता है या गणशिक्षक करके या कुछ, I had this information कि 2005-06 उसी दौरान बहुत सारा टीचर रहे जो 1,500 क्या कर रहा है 400 रुपया और हेड मास्टर मैडम प्रिंसिपल मैडम वो खुद पढ़ाती सारे क्लास दूसरों को दे देते हैं एंड उन हेडमास्टर का सैलरी 1.5 लाख है, उसका 150 लाख, ठीक है? That's the opportunity. So if you say that we need to integrate the Indian knowledge system, Indian education system and the global system, then please practice the global system of your career progression, your career. अगर नहीं होता है तो ठीक है, कुछ हर कोई एक्चुअली ऐसा नहीं है कि क्या है चाणक्य थोड़ा मतलब सीरियसली जाके पढ़ाए। सीरियस टीचर कोई आजकल बहुत कम मिलते हैं, सब पैसे के लिए आए हैं। निवेदिता वो वहाँ छोटी पैसे के लिए सब आए हैं ना, तो उसका भी थोड़ा ध्यान रखना चाहिए। ओके, सो फॉर दैट एक्चुअली वी हैव सेड कंटीन्यूअस प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम, हाँ कुछ है CPD. Let me tell you, I have been evaluating many government programs. I still have doubt that CPD also can be used as a tool to exploit teachers. उसका evaluation कौन करेगा? हेडमास्टर करेगा। हेडमास्टर जरूरत में उसका मन करे तो वो कहेगा ये अच्छा है, ये अच्छा नहीं है। So of course we may not be skeptical or we shouldn't be skeptical about all those policies, but at least a system is in place or is supposed to be in place which is flexible and we can change it given the requirement of the situation. But my honest particular request, honest urge to the entire society that you need to be honest to yourself while evaluating. कोई जो भी एक टीचर पढ़ाता है, हालांकि एक तो क्या है ना 1-2 brats, spoiled brats entering into the system doesn't make the system bad. You can have individual specific, but policies at the implementation stage. But you shouldn't have that kind of a thought that you will just try to, use that as an instrument to exploit teachers. Please respect teachers as teachers. Okay? So that's actually one. So at least suppose वो system है कि will have professional development system. But then अभी हमारा जो गवर्नर को इनॉग्रेट किए थे, I had told us, please don't use your policies to facilitate the system. Don't use the rules and regulations to keep hostage your system. वो करना नहीं है। जो भी it's for the administrator, I'm saying. Teachers के लिए तो है ही, as I said, please put yourself into their shoes. Try to see what the students want and be little compassionate. It's not your responsibility to pass or fail somebody, it's your responsibility to teach. If you could teach, that's fine. इसीलिए जो हमारा अभी क्या है ना वो CGPA वगैरह आ गया, वो रिलेटिव ग्रेडिंग वगैरह आ गया। Rather than ये बच्चे फेल है, ये बच्चे पास है, instead of saying ये बच्चे फेल है, ये बच्चे पास है, you can say ये बच्चे थोड़ा ज़्यादा पढ़ा सकते हैं, ये बच्चे थोड़ा कम पढ़ा सकते हैं, कर सकते हैं। That's actually, please understand. That's actually we have another concept which is come up. They call it SEEL. No, social, ethical, emotional learning. Social, ethical, and emotional. You need to prepare the pupils for the society, and we need to prepare the pupils to be ethical. What is ethical? Actually, everybody asks me. Ethics has its different connotations. It varies with time, person, and place. But I have a single definition of ethics: that following the regulations, rules, even if you are not under the sky. अगर आपको किसी ने देख भी नहीं रहा है, फिर भी आप रूल फॉलो कर रहे हो, तो आप ethical. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं सामने बहुत शुगर कैंडी मीठा बात करूंगा, पीछे में गोची काटूंगा. That's actually not. Okay, so the ethics committee asked me what is your understanding of ethics. Everybody, of course, they have no regulations here. I have my own definition as used to be. I said, if I follow the rules and regulations, do not hurt anybody deliberately. कि जानबूझकर इसको दिक्कत में नहीं डालूंगा. अगर रूल के सामने आ गया तो साथ को पुनरे दिलू जाता सोफा और छाड़ी भी क्या मुझे, है ना? If I am given the rules or the authority to punish somebody who doesn't behave, then I definitely punish, even if it is my son. You know, तो वो होना चाहिए. So that's actually of late the education system in addition to integrating. But वो traditional system में क्या है? भाई करना आपको कि दूसरे कम्युनिटी से आप नहीं पढ़ सकते. What kind of traditional university? वो नहीं. मेरे लिए सारे अच्छे हैं. मेरे लिए राजा जैसा है. बोलना आसान है, but करना difficult है. मैं क्या निवेदिता है, पूछ सकते हो उनसे. मुझे मैं सब कुछ मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है जो भी, क्योंकि मेरा तो सरकारी नौकरी है ना. मेरा तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते. I once निवेदिता I told actually director कि मेरे लिए मेरा इवैल्यूएटर मेरे स्टूडेंट है. जिस दिन स्टूडेंट बोलेंगे कि पढ़ाता नहीं है, अच्छा काम नहीं करता है, उसी दिन मुझे बुरा लगेगा. आपका जितना भी इवैल्यूएटर है मुझे बोले, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, my students, those, और ये भी बात है आशा बिंदु के पहले बार एक्चुअली टीचर्स इवैल्यूएशन किए थे, है ना. अपन और मेरा स्कोर बहुत प्राउडली मैं बोलता हूँ कभी 99 से नीचे नहीं है. और 5 में 5 हमारा यूनिवर्सिटी हमारा डिपार्टमेंट में तो बेस्ट टीचर था ही, और अपन को उसका डिपार्टमेंट में डाले भी था, है ना. कुछ इवन मुझे जो गाली भी देते थे वो अच्छा, ठीक है मैं गाली देता हूँ फिर उसके बाद समझाता हूँ बेटा मेरा ये इवेंट है, इट्स माय रिस्पांसिबिलिटी टू सी दैट, है ना. जिस दिन वो मणिपुरी लड़का को मैंने देखा ना, नेक्स्ट टाइम वो जब एग्जामिनेशन देना है गया, सच में बोल रहा हूँ मैं, मुझे मेरा वहाँ इन्विजिलेशन ड्यूटी पड़ा था, मैं बहुत सिगरेट पीता था, है ना. तो फिर मैं एक्चुअली एक ब्लैक टी और सिगरेट लेके बाहर चला गया. देन दी कंप्यूटर ऑफिसर बोले कि आज सर आपका ड्यूटी हुआ है ना. नहीं मेरा नाम सुनते ही बच्चे चिट्ठी मीटिंग नहीं करते हैं, बट मैं जानता हूँ कि वो चिट लेके आया था, इसीलिए मैं गया. whether that was ethical or unethical, but to me as I said if I do not hurt somebody deliberately, वो थोड़ा वहाँ से पास करने के बाद थोड़ी जाके वो हेलीकॉप्टर लेके काम उड़ा रहा है काम जाके कोई स्टैंडर्ड 1 स्टैंडर्ड 2 कुछ भी पढ़े, उसमें थोड़ी उसको मैं चंद्रयान में भेजा था, चंद्रयान का कोई उल्टा से बाबा देगा ऐसा नहीं है. वो बेचारा पढ़ रहा था, इसीलिए मैंने पास करवा दिया, है ना. नॉट दैट मैं एक्चुअली बता देना कितना टाइम हो गया.
यस
ठीक है. तो challenges opportunity क्या है. there are some gray areas where we can work on. Actually what was Indian education system? It was Swedish teacher. Of course both the speakers have already said, and experiential learning and value based education. But for me now I don't know actually what is the curriculum system. We call it as collaborative learning. We call it as collaborative, and we have renamed our lecture on competence as learning about competence, and all units are called collaborative learning, where each student, a good student, is made to see with another relatively not that proficient student, and because the peer learning, we understand that students open up better with their friends and peers. Of course, not necessarily always true than with the teacher, because teacher के साथ थोड़ा uncomfortability रहता है, students के साथ होता है. तो in our writing system we have developed that kind of a system where our classrooms are designed also like that. A round table, 3 students will sit. We don't call it fifth class, we call it collaborative class. Like where 3 types, we rank the students up to without revealing the student that you are ranked this and that, but rank the student, make them to sit like that, then give a topic for the best student to teach and the worst student to play. So that actually that totally experiment I have designed, and that I call as the collaborative learning system. So in addition to that, and I have told my student, even if you are wrong, you say what you have understood. गलती भी है तो अपना होना चाहिए, सच दूसरों का एक्चुअली भी ठीक नहीं. मैं यहाँ से कॉपी करके बोल दूँ ये मैंने कहा है, दैट्स नॉट करेक्ट. वो नहीं, अगर गलती भी है ना आपका, वो बोलो कि ये आई ओन, ये मेरा ही आइडिया है, मेरा मैं गलत हो सकता हूँ, सब में गलत हो सकता है, कोई दिक्कत. ओके, दैट्स that's actually the education system we had actually, but then it's evolving and we're trying to reform it. Then, as Basantia sir has said, there has been a paradigm shift from this rote learning to different kind of experimental types of learning, learner-based approach. All these things actually there has been a paradigm shift. And as I said, integrating the I don't know ये जो idea आप बोले सर ने women teacher ही क्यों सिर्फ लोकल पढ़ाएंगे? ये हमने एक्चुअली स्ट्रैटेजिकली लड़कियों को वुमेन को ऐसे बना के रखे हैं कि दे आर मेड टू सैक्रिफाइस। वो बलि उसका बकरा बनने के बकरी बनने के लिए बेचारी है, जो एलिजिबल है वो पढ़ाएगी। They are equal. Please do not. As I said, no, I challenge the legend of our mythology that why you guys will fight for Indra. तो तुम्हारा भाई झगड़ा हुआ है महिषासुर के साथ, you please sort it out. और ये जो सिस्टम सोच रहे हैं कि प्राइमरी टीचर सिर्फ लड़कियां बनेंगे क्योंकि वहाँ सैलरी कम है, और हम यूनिवर्सिटी का प्रोफेसर होकर बैठेंगे क्योंकि वहाँ कम क्लास में ज्यादा पैसा। ये मेरा जो जहाँ फिट है, regardless of please, definitely a girl being a girl is physically maybe little weak. That's a common thing actually. But as a society, what have we offered to them so that they come on the equal platform and they compete at any level, rather than branding them? Initially brand कर रहे थे कि जियो जो रोनो तो चुली मुंडो पूरे होती रहे, है ना? And now अरे डांस टीचर तो सिर्फ प्राइमरी पढ़ाएंगे, बच्चों को खिलाएंगे, बच्चों को नहलाएंगे, वो क्यों? भाई आप ही करो, सबको इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी। I completely agree. Actually, Tapan sir has been one of the catalysts actually in education reforms. Wherever he goes, he teaches in for educational reforms which is inclusive, which is women oriented. But sir, इसी पॉलिसी के साथ, क्योंकि मैंने देखा है मेरे दीदी इतना अच्छे स्टूडेंट होने के बाद शी सफर, और अभी वो जो ड्यूटी कर रही है ठीक है, बट वो और अच्छा कर सकती है। As a society, we have to provide them the opportunity. Okay? So then global trends are थोड़ा बहुत में global सर होता है। Global trends are बोले फिनलैंड, सिंगापुर। हम लोगों को क्या ना, जो इंडिया लोग हैं जो बाहर से आता है, दूर का पहाड़ सुंदर है, बाहर से जो आता है सारे अच्छा है, वो भी नहीं है। पर अगर दूर से कोई अच्छा है तो उसको अच्छा बोलने में और अपनी आदत में डालने लाइक notes when मैं 6th या 7th क्लास में कंप्यूटर हमारा एक सब्जेक्ट हुआ था, तो हम 6th क्लास कंप्यूटर जो था एनालॉग एंड डिजिटल, वो 6th क्लास में हमारा था। उसी में हमको पढ़ाया गया, हमारा सर पढ़ा रहे थे गांव के स्कूल में, कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया में एक ऐसा सिस्टम है, टीचर एक ही टीचर है, रिमोट यहाँ पढ़ाता है, जाके रिमोट में लोग देखते हैं। वो आजकल जो ऑनलाइन है, वो तभी हमको बताया था सर ने, वो कंप्यूटर सिस्टम वाला। मैंने ये बहुत अच्छा आइडिया है, ये दैट्स गुड, ताकि टीचर से होमवर्क से बच जाएंगे। टीचर थोड़ी हमको देख रहा है, बेटा इससे बच जाएंगे। तो every system has its advantages, disadvantages, lacunas. Finland, Singapore education system is actually it's data driven, वो सिर्फ career oriented। आप ऐसे बनेंगे, इंसान को बेसिक बनाना है ना, तो इसलिए हमारा एक हिंदी गाना है ना, हिंदू बनेगा ना मुसलमान बनेगा, इंसान की औलाद ये इंसान बनेगा। अभी मैं बोलता हूँ ना वो इंजन बनेगा ना मशीन बनेगा, इंसान की औलाद है ये इंसान बनेगा। हम एक्चुअली we should keep that human touch. Nothing कोई भी आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस लाओ, कुछ भी ले आओ, ह्यूमन टच का जो इफेक्ट है उसको कोई भी रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता है, हम जितने भी बड़े हो जाए, जैसे हो जाए। तो ये जो कैरियर डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्रेस में ग्लोबल में क्या है, इनोवेटिव पेडागोजी। आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि मैं जो पेडागोजी डेवलप किया या क्या वो इनोवेटिव, एनीबॉडी कैन हैव, बट बॉटम लाइन इज यू नीड टू बी कंपैशनेट, यू नीड टू बी globally responsive and locally responsive. जो आइडिया है वो आइडिया को लेके आप रिस्पॉन्ड करोगे ये ग्लोबल एजुकेशन सिस्टम में ये चेंजेस आ रहा है, हम उसको रिस्पॉन्स करके हमारे बच्चों में इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे। लेकिन हमारा बच्चों का क्या जरूरत है वो यूज कर सकते हैं नहीं कर सकते हैं, उसी के हिसाब से एक्चुअली वी नीड टू आर्ट। दैट्स व्हाई आई यूज्ड टू कॉल वी नीड टू बी ग्लोबली रेस्पॉन्सिव, we need to respond to the global challenges, global requirement, but we also need to be responsible to our local students or our own students. So that's what actually mine. So it's best practices that I said, Finland of course in सारे हैं बोले हैं, Singapore global collaboration, so we need to integrate those best practices. And I said you may have those IT and everything, machine learning technology, everything, but nothing can replace the human touch. And at the end of the day, your global and local things need to be integrated, where as a teacher you need to be responsive towards the global changes and be responsible for your local stuff. So 2030 के लिए क्या है? We have multidisciplinary hub जो सर ने बोले, I am just skipping since I am involved in this program, program. It started in 2020. Started planning to come out with good number of students those who can cater to the education system by next year or so. But there are a lot of challenges which of course Tapan and some of his friends have identified. So transitioning from the old system to the new system with some integration of the global requirement and global technology system, global changes into our education system. So I had as what you call comparison. Kudos to and as this is also what Tapan sir has said, there has been a paradigm shift. So paradigm, traditional system, global system, and this system. You can have a look at it. The assessment type is different, the goal is different. हमारा जो टीचर्स जैसे मैंने बोला चॉक एंड टॉक ताकि बोल देते हैं बच्चे रट मारते थे, मतलब ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम था। ग्लोबल सिस्टम में टू यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, उतना भी ज्यादा यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी अच्छा नहीं है ना, बट our integrated system integrates both. So we need to look into it. And this I'll say is end with this quote, not end, actually there is another quote which is own driven. The true teachers are those who help us think for ourselves. Ourselves means for the society. But for me, no nation can rise above the level of its teachers. So nation has also the responsibility to see that its teachers level are at the top. Thank you. So any question I would love to answer, respond, है ना?
एक्चुअली मैं फ्यू वर्ड्स बोलूँगा, बीच में इंटरप्ट किया हूँ। दुखबंधु साहू जी, वो मैं खाली मैं 2-3 मिनट एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करूँगा जो मैं आशा की परिस्थिति में पहले पहुँचा।
ट्रेडिशनली लेसन प्लस करता है वो
अभी सर आप जानते हैं और सिस्टम का कुछ मेरिट है, कुछ लिमिटेशन है। जो नया आ रहा है उसका भी कुछ मेरिट है, कुछ लिमिटेशन है। जो पहले था उसका भी मेरिट है, बट नया एंड पुराना दोनों का बैलेंसिंग करना एक आइडिया टीचर का, एक आइडिया टीचर का कोई भी चीज अच्छा है वो नया का पुराना को देखते वो एडिशनल नॉलेज देगा। मैं बताता हूँ, जो मैं क्लास को जाता हूँ मैंने हर सेमेस्टर में मैं पहले 5 क्लास का बैकग्राउंड पढ़ाता हूँ जिसमें कोई कंटेंट नहीं, कंटेंट का साथ डायरेक्ट टच नहीं होता है। 5-6 क्लास का बाद में डायरेक्ट एंट्री मारता हूँ, बिकॉज मुझे पता है कि these 5 बेस्ट क्लासेस आर नीडेड फॉर ए स्टूडेंट। तो वो मैं करता हूँ, स्टूडेंट बताते हैं सर ये आपको पढ़ाने के बाद हमको आपको पढ़ाने का जरूरी नहीं है, हम आगे चला जाएंगे। वो टीचर को जानना चाहिए आप कितना एफिशिएंट, इसीलिए आपको क्या है ना, आपका बैक को भी जानना चाहिए, फ्रंट को भी जानना चाहिए, लेफ्ट को भी जानना चाहिए, राइट को भी जानना चाहिए, सब जानना चाहिए। जैसे आपका टॉपिक है ट्रेडिशनल
ଆମର 26 को बही आसीबो एबे बही लॉन्च होला 1 8 पिला माने जानिबे मु पिला माने आगु भी कहिछि 1 to 8 टाइम सेंट्रल स्कूल बा केफी स्कूल माने करे गत वर्ष सीबीएसई बही आसिले ଆମର जो बही आसला मु भी सौभाग्य प्राप्त होइतिले देटा बही लेखिया पई 6 रा 8 रे ओडिया रे ताको ट्रांसक्रिप्शन करा होतिला से जहा अछि सीबीएसई रे ताको खाली आम सहित हला आम कल्चर आम ट्रेडिशन आम रिलेशन आमर वेलबीइंग बा आमर एनवायरनमेंट नै कि से अच्छा अच्छा जी जी वो वाला ने कथा को पूरा गुड रे ठीक है वो बात ये है कि साथ सकते हैं कि तो ये सब हो पाएगा अब होगा और ये वाला जो सिलेबस होता है ये बीएड का और एमएड का जो पहला वाला था पुराने वाला था कम चेंज होगा ठीक है
क्या हुआ 2014 में रेगुलेशन आया ना और आपका जो 2020 में एनईपी 2020 है ऐसा नहीं कि एनसीपी ने नहीं कोशिश की तो आई टाइप अभी आया उसके लिए करिकुलम फ्रेमवर्क बनाया नया आया बीएड एमएड का भी रिवाइज करिकुलम और रेगुलेशन बना है 2025 में ड्राफ्ट आया ठीक है एनईपी 2020 के बाद उससे भी रिवाइज लेकिन जो सिस्टम का बात की ना वो सिस्टम अभी मिनिस्ट्री में है वो ड्राफ्ट अभी वो अप्रूवल नहीं मिल रहा जब तक अप्रूवल नहीं मिलेगा ना आपके वहाँ पे नहीं आएगा तो 2014 के बाद भी रिवाइज हो चुका है ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं हुआ पूरा ड्राफ्ट में कमेटी बना सब बना करिकुलम भी चेंज हो गया सब कुछ हो गया लेकिन उसका फाइनल अप्रूवल अभी मिनिस्ट्री से नहीं मिल पा रहा नहीं मिल पा रहा
मेरा बेटा क्लास 9 को गया अभी 9 में पढ़ता अभी बुक एनसीईआरटी मिल नहीं रहा है अभी तो पब्लिश नहीं हुआ कुछ का सबको भी भेज रहे हैं और सिस्टम ही प्रॉब्लम है अब क्या करेंगे वो अभी गवर्नमेंट को क्वेश्चन आएगा आप सही टाइम में बनाए नहीं तो लेट कर आप इसको इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं अगर सही टाइम बहुत सारा इसमें क्वेश्चन
we are living in a country which is so diverse, so big. तो थोड़ा इतना बड़ा देश छोटा एक्सटेंड होता है अब मूवी को देखिए सर मैं 1991 बैच में 10th दिया था आप पता नहीं पूछ लीजिए मैं 1991 में दिया था तो आप कब हमको मैं 9th क्लास आया 90 में हमारा 9th उसी टाइम 9th 10th मिला के एग्जाम हो रहा था 10th का जब एग्जाम आया 10th एग्जाम होने से 2 महीने पहले 9th का बुक आया पता है हम तो दे दिए और उसे आप रिकॉर्ड चेक कर लीजिए किसी कोई भी जाके 1991 में ओडिशा बोर्ड में सिर्फ 8000 फर्स्ट क्लास मिले थे आज तो फर्स्ट क्लास सबको मिलता है तो ऐसा नहीं है थोड़ा इतना बड़ा देश छोटा होता है सर इसको अभिमान
कंसर्न रहने से चीजें जल्दी होगा और कोई क्वेश्चन
Good afternoon, everyone. So I am just asking a simple question that Vasanthi sir explained about the 4 pillars of teacher transformation. Where in teacher progression he mentioned about salaries and incentives and all. That is a very good factual thing. But I want to ask that whether NEP 2020 is giving this as just a suggestive measure or is it in the practice? Or if it is in the practice, how we are going to measure the competency of a teacher? Or what are the criteria of scaling? So this is my question.
Policy direction is always suggestive. Policy direction is always recommendation. That is the recommendation. It is the government, it is the public, it is the stakeholders. They have to bring it into the action. Because as NEP has been adopted that in curriculum of many universities, in the school, in many state governments, in the same way, whatever suggestion is being given. See, now previously we had that 10 plus 2 plus 3 system of education. Now we are going for what? We are going for 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 system of education plus 3. 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3. That means always you remember policy directives are only suggestive always. It is the government which has to make it. Always we may not 100% achieve the policy target, but many times if the policy is achievable, there is 100% because as we tell that 100% achievement cannot be done. Because in NEP it was mentioned that by 2021 there would be national curriculum framework for school education, but it was prepared in 2023, but it was written in policy that it will be done in 2021, but made in 2025. Now Odisha government is making it in 2026. In the same way, I am telling, because the time target sometimes changes, number one. Number two, that 100% achievement may not, because whatever given in the policy, we may not do 100%, but if we can go for 80% achievement, it's okay. 90% achievement, I will go higher, it is better. But whenever the same government has published this policy or went for this policy, it is expected that we will go for, because I told about three things under that career progression. One was that NPFT, second one is career management and progression, third one is that continuous professional development. Under that, many things are being discussed and many things are suggested by NEP. Policy report is always suggested. It is the government and the stakeholder. They have to take how corrupt your state government is, if your or central government is. If the government is proactive, so it can be achieved. So if the government is not proactive, it cannot be achieved. Policy will remain only in file. आज before few days that Donald Trump जी बोले ना that कागज का फेर है, कागज का बाग है. वो डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प का अच्छा बुरा मैं नहीं बता रहा हूँ. वो जो टर्मिनोलॉजी यूज किया आप सोचिए, that means नाटो कागज का बाग है, माने फेर है. इसका मीनिंग क्या है? नाटो जिस पर्पज में बना गया था, बिकॉज जितना नॉर्थ अटलांटिक रिलेटेड कंट्री जिसका एसोसिएशन है, किसी का अगर मिलिट्री अटैक होता है, सब इकट्ठा बनेंगे. व्हाटएवर में भी मैं इंटरनल मैटर को नहीं जा रहा हूँ, बट वर्डिंग, व्हाट वाज द वर्डिंग यूज्ड बाय डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प? कागज बाग है, कागज शहर है. दैट मींस वो जो नाटो बना है ओनली कागज में बना है, प्रैक्टिस में नहीं है. पॉलिसी ऑलवेज थ्योरी है, डॉक्यूमेंट है, वो रिकमेंडेशन है, सजेस्टिव मेजर है. Government, however it is implementing, if you can able to implement, that is your policy का बात. इसका भी ये होता है, हमारा प्रोग्राम ऑफ एक्शन होता है और ये हमारा बहुत ज्यादा नहीं हुआ. थैंक यू.
Namaste, very good afternoon, sir. Sir, I have a question. That as you all said that we have and we had a great tradition in the educational sector, but why we are lagging in the sector of education now in comparison to USA and China? And sir, what are the measures we should take to tackle this problem as a student and as a teacher as well? Thank you.
My friend Tapan sir said कि कुछ बोलेंगे क्या, but देखो बेटा, मैंने तो नहीं बोला कि we had a great practice. एक तो पहला मैंने द्रोणाचार्य को क्रिटिसाइज किया. द्रोणाचार्य जो एक गुरु है, एक गुरु था ना, वो करने को मना कर दिया पढ़ाने के लिए. वो उन्हीं सिर्फ बड़े बड़े राजा महाराजा बच्चों को पढ़ाए. तो ग्रेट ट्रेडिशन है, बट वी हैड अ वेरी रोबस्ट सिस्टम. हमारा एक रोबस्ट सिस्टम था. और नेल्सन मंडेला का वो फेमस कोट तो सबको याद है. नेल्सन मंडेला क्या बोले थे? अगर कोई देश को, कोई सोसाइटी को तबाह करना है तो उनका एजुकेशन सिस्टम को तबाह करना. तो माकुले जी जब आए, Maculian education system was trusted on us. Probably जब मैंने पढ़ा बोला शायद आपने सुना. ट्रस्ट क्या है? माकुले का टारगेट क्या है? माकुले का टारगेट था कि हमारा नौकर पकड़ होके ये हम तो अच्छी तरह इंग्लिश मतलब ओडिया या इंडिया में ये आके एक्चुअली जब आए ब्रिटिशर्स, they were shocked. In fact, Alexander was also shocked. पता है क्या? Alexander was also shocked. जब अलेक्जेंडर आया इंडिया में, ये आचार्य को देखा कोकिले जी को देखा ना, वो ये इंडियन सिस्टम को समझ ही नहीं पाया. लेकिन आप वो क्यों धनानंद के साथ यूज करने के लिए नहीं आया पता है? क्योंकि he couldn't understand। बात क्या है, जब वो अलेक्जेंडर से मिले पहली बार, अलेक्जेंडर द ग्रेट वर्ल्ड का इतना बड़ा राजा है, चाणक्य जी बोले मुझे नहा के आना है, नहा बोले क्यों? क्योंकि मैंने आपको छू लिया। अरे अलेक्जेंडर का ईगो में लग गया कि भाई मैं इतना बड़ा राजा हूं, मेरे पास मिलने के लिए लोग तरसते हैं, ये बोला मेरे को देखते ही उसको नहाना है, ये कैसा सिस्टम है? He couldn't understand। ओके, तो उसमें भी चाणक्य जी धनानंद को भी बोले थे और अलेक्जेंडर को भी बोले थे, आपने राजा को खरीद सकते हैं, आपने सेनापति को खरीद सकते हो, उससे विकास था ना उसका, उस सबको खरीद सकते हैं, लेकिन एक टीचर को आप खरीद नहीं सकते, तो ज्ञान को आप खरीद नहीं सकते। तो हमारा सिस्टम ऐसा मैं नहीं बोलता हूं कि बहुत अच्छा था, बट एक रोबस्ट। तो जब ब्रिटिशर्स एजुकेशन सिस्टम हमारे यहाँ लाए, इट वाज लार्जली टू कैटर टू द नीड ऑफ द ब्रिटिशर्स। वो ब्रिटिशर्स अपने ऑफिस के दफ्तर में इनको चाहिए तो उनको कितना सारा लैंग्वेज है पता है? ओडिशा में कितना लैंग्वेज है? ओडिशा में कितना लैंग्वेज आपको पता है?
Don't say exactly. I don't know
exactly, but स्क्रिप्ट होते हुए दो है, डेफिनेटली ओडिया एक है, ऑलचिकी एक है, संताल भाषा है, बट हमारा 62 ट्राइब्स पता है? 60 हर ट्राइब का एक ट्राइब है। तो ये सब समझना डिफिकल्ट था इनके लिए, इसीलिए वो एक ग्रुप ऑफ एलाइड ब्रिटिशर्स वो बोला भी था, मुझे पता नहीं वो बोला नहीं था कि इसने लिखा था कि he said I am developing an education system where the Indians will be Indians in their group, but by heart they will be British। वो ऐसा बोला। तो अब मंडेला जी का वो मंडेला नेल्सन मंडेला जी बोले इसी देश को तबाही करने के लिए आपको युद्ध का कुछ जरूरत नहीं, उसका एजुकेशन सिस्टम को बर्बाद कर। तो ये जो सिस्टम आया मैकुलियन सिस्टम, मैंने बोला उसे we produced Machiavellian kids rather than dedicated, committed Indian citizens। वही एक्चुअली उसी प्रॉब्लम में हम थोड़ा चलिए फंस गए। हालांकि दूसरों को दोष देके तो हम नहीं रहते, दोष देके कि हम बच नहीं सकते, फिर भी ये जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम हमारा डाइल्यूट हुआ, म्यूटिलेट हुआ ड्यूरिंग डिफरेंट रिजीम, उसी के वजह से हमारा सो कॉल्ड रोबोट सिस्टम, अच्छा सिस्टम तो मैं पूरा बहुत अच्छा सिस्टम नहीं था, आई नेवर बिलीव कि आप कोई टीचर स्टूडेंट को बोल सकते हो या कौन है जो गणपति जी को अभिशाप देते हैं, परशुराम जी भगवान होते हैं, कोई भी आपने अभिशाप दे दिया एक बच्चे को, एक स्टूडेंट उसका जो ज्ञान के पास वो बच्चा था, कर वो सीखने के लिए आपके पास गया था, आपको तकलीफ ना हो इसलिए अपना सारा दर्द झेला हुआ, लेकिन अगर छोटा सा झूठ बोला था तो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट कंटेक्स्ट, इस कंटेक्स्ट में वो झूठ बोला था, वो ना गुरु है ना बड़ा नहीं गुरु, जो मैंने क्या बड़ा आपको बोला था, गुरु उसमें उसको श्राप दे दिया, समझ रहे? दैट इज नॉट अ गुड एजुकेशन सिस्टम, वो थोड़ी होता है, बट फिर भी हमारा एक सिस्टम था, ठीक है ना? वो सिस्टम को डिफरेंट रिजीम में डिफरेंट पॉलिसी के माध्यम से म्यूटिलेट किया है ना? तो इसीलिए थोड़ा चलिए हम उतना नहीं जा पाए जितना, और यही बात हुआ कि हमारा जो इसमें क्या है, जो ये कौन टॉयलेट है जो बेटा कौन शिक्षक पारा शिक्षक ये सब करेंगे हमारे टीचर को जोड़े सम्मान नहीं, और ये जो जर्मनी रो चांसलर लेडी को ऐसे ताकर टीचर्स को हाई सर जर्मनी फिनलैंड हाई सर तो लोग मैंने डॉक्टर इंजीनियर कहले जे आपको कहीं कम सैलरी देउ तो भाई तुमको से बने तो से ताकर कहीं अधिकार कितना हम से पॉलिसी जानी पड़े
lastly
मौके पता ना
anyone can answer sir, and lastly what should be the measure we should take at the present context to solve the problem as a student and as a teacher as well?
The states should be evolutionary rather than revolutionary। तो साहब बोले कि एक ऐसे जादू का जड़ भी नहीं है मेरे पास, या जादू का जड़ ही नहीं है, इसे स्टेप करके स्लो एक इवोल्यूशन होगा, स्लोली एजुकेशनल इवोल्यूशन होगा, जिसे हम पे पैरिटी लाने के लिए कोशिश करना चाहिए। प्राइमरी एजुकेशन टीचर्स को थोड़ा ज़्यादा सैलरी देना चाहिए। एक्चुअली बहुत दिक्कत होता है बच्चों को पढ़ाने में। कभी कभी गांव में जाके मेरे गांव की स्कूल में पढ़ाता हूँ तो बहुत दिक्कत होता है। तो कुछ कुछ स्टेप्स हम ला रहे हैं विच आर इवोल्यूशनरी। अगर आपका यंग ब्लड है, द एक्यूबरेंस ऑफ यूथ इन यू में से ये नहीं सर बताइए कल से क्या करने से सब ठीक हो जाएगा, वो सॉल्यूशन मेरे पास नहीं है। slowly learning by doing, है ना, learning by experiment, एक एक करके हम कर रहे हैं, टेस्ट कर रहे हैं। और जैसे मैंने बोला ये डेमोक्रेटिक जैसे बहुत सारा पॉलिसी आएगा जिसमें बहुत सारे लोग अपोज करेंगे, बहुत सारे का सोच अलग होगा। सबको लेके हमको देना है, सबको लेके हमको हमारा सिस्टम को भी आगे लेना है, देश को भी आगे लेना है। तो slowly चेंजेस आ रहा है। एंड एनी इज वन सच
one of the important measures.
ठीक है बेटा, इसे एक तो नहीं होगा, इसे सैलरी वगैरह सब बढ़ा रहे हैं, कर रहे हैं। आपका 5 साल को 4 साल कर रहे हैं, 5 साल बर्बाद होगा आपका, 4 साल कर रहे हैं।
Thank you everyone for a nice discussion. Now it is time for a felicitation of our distinguished guests. With the, as we discussed here about Indian traditions and global traditions, based upon our Indian traditions, we are felicitate our guests with the Indian traditions. Now I am requesting principal of our institute to felicitate our chief guest, Professor Tapan Kumar Basantia sir. Also to our guest of honor, Professor Bimal Kishore sir. Also to our honorable speaker, Dr. Durgabandhu Sahu sir. I also request Principal Madam to felicitate convener of this seminar, Dr. Banani Mahanti. Now I am requesting Dr. Banani Mahanti Madam to felicitate the patron of this seminar, Srimati Felicitation Madam.
Now I would like to request Principal Madam to felicitate our co-convener Vijay sir.
Now it is the time for a vote of thanks. First, I would like to give my vote of thanks to our chief speaker, Professor Tapan Kumar Basantia sir, who give his valuable time with us, give a very valuable talk, give his idea, share with us, and from our family, from our College of Teacher Education family, I give my vote of thanks to Professor Basantia sir. Now, I would like to give vote of thanks to guest of honor, Professor Bimal Kishore sir, who is also give his valuable time with us and keep his valuable words with us, highlighting different aspects regarding the classroom teaching. I am give thanks on behalf of our city family to Professor Bimal sir. Now it is time for give the vote of thanks to Honorable Speaker Dr. Dukhabantu Sahu sir, who spared his time with us, encouraging us. We see his energy from very beginning to till now, and on behalf of our college, I give my vote of thanks to Sahu sir. I also give my thanks to the patron of this seminar, Srimati Sri Bahari Madam. Also give the thanks to the convener of this seminar, Dr. Banani Mahanti Madam. Also give the thanks to all the delegates who come across different parts of our states, who are also joined with us through online mode from different parts of our country. All the student teachers who are patiently present here, discussed with us. All the resource persons, those who are sitting here will act as the resource person in different technical sessions. All the reporters, all the students, all the team members of our organizing team, student volunteers, the non-teaching staff members of our college, those who are not in the forefront but help in every success of this event by sitting in the behind of these activities, just like as the sound mechanics, the mechanics of the tent house, the members of the lunch or the kitchen systems. I would give the vote of thanks to all of them from our family members. Now I conclude this inaugural session here and requesting all we should gather in outside to have a lunch. Thanking you all. Jai Jagannath.
A special request from Dukhabantu sir. Please, Nivedita madam. Nivedita madam, am I audible? Nivedita madam? Yes. So, special request from Dukhabantu sir that he would like to give his bouquet to Nivedita madam. So, a big round of applause for her.
When I was entering to this college, she called me, so it reminded me of I think a days during PhD. मुझे याद भी दिलाया एक्चुअली यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिंगापुर में मैं छुप के एक जगह पे सिगरेट पी रहा था. मेरा एक स्टूडेंट दूर से बोला, "Dukhabantu sir, I was so surprised actually इतना कोई भी रेस्पेक्ट, कोई भी ऑनर मुझे उतना बड़ा नहीं लगा जब वो मुझे बच्चा 15 साल के बाद ही वाज दूर से दुखबंधु साहब यहाँ सिंगापुर में मुझे कौन दुखबंधु साहब था, तो when she got up
Before going to now, I just request Professor Amulya Acharya sir, Hare Krishna sir, Ranjan sir, Prakash sir, Lakshmikanta sir, Bipin sir, Nana madam, Sumit sir, Raj madam, Sabita madam, Kulamani sir, Nivedita madam, Kanti madam, and all the staff members of our college, please come to the dais for a photo session. Please sir. Ask. Ask. Ask.